All right, so Sten, you're gonna roll your inspiration, and then we're going to see how combat starts here.
Okay. What kind of save was it? Or
It
what am I rolling?
was. Oh, I don't have any of my stuff set up. Hold on, please. Hold, please.
Pretty
It'd
positive.
be cool if it was a charisma
saving
save. I know it's
So
probably wisdom.
I'm pretty sure it's a wisdom save, but
Yeah, I'm sure it was too.
I will double check here.
Am I popping? Am I popping at all?
No, you
No,
sound
you're
not
better
popping.
now.
So I
Popping, locking,
lowered
dropping.
my noise reduction. So it was probably my fan coming in and out.
That was probably it. That
Yeah.
sounds like it would be fitting. All right, so
Can somebody
we
kiss
are
this, please?
in room.
Thank you. Okay.
It is in fact a wisdom save,
Okay. Here we
and according
go.
to the log,
19?
a 19 saves.
Yes!
Hey,
What if it had to be a 20?
dude.
God.
That's so funny. All right,
Oh,
so
I
that's
guess
so
I wouldn't-
good. Holy shit.
I would not be
You-
walking into the room then.
yeah, so you
I would
shake
still be
the
there.
feeling- You shake the feeling that is pulling you towards the statue. And we'll start combat with everyone available. So let me just
Thank you, Hermes.
Yep.
Hey, I helped kiss it too.
Oh, you kissed it too? Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I did not.
all right,
Yeah, I know
everybody
whatever.
roll me initiative as the specters.
What if we say
Up here.
no?
And what if I just don't want to attack him?
Then you'll have to see what happens.
Oh god. That first is horrible in the music. I hate it.
Oh, the violin run.
Yeah. Yep.
Very
Not a fan.
very key horror.
Yeah, I don't like it. But you know what else is key horror? The freaking sound.
Man,
in
these things are
Diablo.
rolling like shit. Holy.
Oh wow.
That's good because I
Must suck, huh?
Yeah. Welcome
All right.
to the party.
Do. I have to find 15.19 and 21.12. 15.
What is this? A Doomby picture?
Yeah, what is this? A Doomby art?
Hold on, what is characters?
Wait, where's this? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Where? What? Where are you seeing this?
You look so hot, dude.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm the same guy.
Where?
That's funny.
All right.
Look at the characters. The character.
Yeah.
type.
I just had to do some lifting in the astral plane real quick.
I guess so.
What the hell?
All right, everybody ready? You guys are spoiling stuff.
No.
Sounds like an art.
he's-
All right.
Hey, your
So
combat encounter spoiled stuff.
hey, he's not. Oh, why is he in
Yeah,
here?
he's in the counter. Oh, man. I almost thought we had him.
No, I'm not here. I'm gone.
I was gonna say
He's dead.
I didn't select him. I don't know why he's in there. Anyway, so Casimir is actually the first one to react here. He oh man, does he have the shot? He doesn't. He mutters under his breath and cast. He's gonna take a 5-foot step and then cast Firebolt at the one to his left. I genuinely do not understand why it will not allow an attack roll for Firebolt for NPCs. Alright, his bonus is +6, so that's a 17 to hit, which does hit. He rolls damage.
Wow.
He does 11 fire damage. Which you notice the Spectre seems to ignore some of the flame. Stan, your turn.
All right, I'll walk out after Heinrich just told me, watch out for the statue. Just call out, oh yeah, you're so very right. And I'll walk in, see, hold on, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh dear. And I'll panic cast Shatter.
Okay.
We'll do second level, 10 feet. I think I'll focus it here, so I catch this guy and this guy.
Okay.
They'll need to make con saves.
Let me do that. On saves. That is a 14 and a 4.
Okay, they'll both take 10 thunder damage.
Got it.
And then I will give... Yeah, I can see Mim. I'll give Mim Bardic Inspiration.
You probably don't want to do that. It's fine.
Cool.
They react to the thunder as the big booming clap echoes throughout the room, but only slightly so.
I see.
I got inspiration. Cool.
Is that your
guess.
turn?
It is...
Mim.
Uh,
Oh,
I'm not ready.
yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. Call out to Irina to not walk into that room
Sounds good.
that she's standing out. Yeah.
Mim, your turn.
I'll try to hit this one with my sword, I guess.
Do it. Also,
Yo,
I just want to point out, you like walk back in, go, oh my, cast a large thunderous boom, and then peek your head back out. Oh, by the way, don't go in that other room.
Yep.
All right, Mim, all you.
It let me actually target this time. Do I get advantage because she's flanked?
You do.
And it doesn't do great. Oh, it just still does fine. Does a 17 hit?
And 17 does hit.
Eight piercing.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you're gonna be like, it doesn't do anything because your normal swords don't do shit. Holy shit. Okay, 8 piercing, 18
Yep.
sneak attack.
So you slash through this thing. You do feel that it kind of separates around your blade slightly. It does seem to react, and you manage to tear some essence out of the specter itself.
It's nice. That's my turn, I guess.
All right.
How long does inspiration last, or do I have it until I use it?
10 minutes.
Cool.
So for the purpose of the fight, you have it until you use it. Which brings us
Yeah.
to this specter, who is going to... Oh, actually, wait. I'm sorry. That's not true. Is going to lunge across the table 5, 10, 15, 20.
That's scary.
Flying towards Andar.
No!
Andar does a 6 hit.
Boy, it sure doesn't.
No, it sure doesn't. Which brings
That's
us to
scary.
Alistair.
Damn, Sirenscape's going hard.
Andar, what the fuck did you do? And I'll cast Sacred Flame to the one in front of me.
All right.
Dex save, please.
Dex save coming in. That is a 16.
It saves the bastard.
The bastard.
Nothing happens. Fucking cantrips. Cool.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, alright, that's my turn.
All right. Irina, seeing Stan hurry back in and say not to go in there, shuts this door quickly, and then hearing the boom 5, 10, 15, 20, realize what's going on. 25, 30, but can't make it in. She'll quickly. No, she'd get disadvantage. Yeah, she's just gonna ready an action if anything comes within her range to whack it. Which brings us to this Spectre, who's also going to dive across the table. So, Alistair, you'll get an attack of opportunity.
Cool. You see about that, I haven't edited this crossbow yet, in game, so I don't have an attack of opportunity.
Oh,
No.
Yeah. This one doesn't
why?
have the dagger on the front. That one was broken.
all right. Then it flies across the table uninhibited. It's going to be able to attack at advantage because Andar is flanked.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
I don't think I'm flanked.
I don't know what you're
That's a
talking
crit.
about. Oh my god. No.
I also
they're
need
rolling
a
so poorly.
con save from you, Andar.
Of course you do.
Hmm.
All right. You do save. You're going to take 23 points of necrotic damage as this thing rakes into your chest, and your whole chest feels hollow and cold as if it's ripping the life essence out of your body.
Technically, it's just barely grazing my chest because 21 of that is getting taken by my ward.
All right. So it reaches in and slashes, and you watch as the ward crack, like the ward solidifies in front of you, and the fingers crack and drain, and it collapses in front of you, shattering, and the nails just barely grazing into your chest, and you feel a cold chill, and the hair on the back of your neck raises up. That brings us to this Spectre, who also is going to attack. Isn't quite flanked on this one. Well, no. Flanked is opposite. It's not flanked. You're good. We're not considered as flanked for you, so it won't be flanked for him. Does a 18 hit?
Yep.
I need a con save. You're fine. You do take 16 necrotic. As this time the claw plunges deep into your chest, and you almost gasp as you feel like the breath has been taken from your lungs, and your whole body almost goes numb with cold. Which brings us to this one, who physically can't reach you,
What a shame.
but is going to line up. Andar.
Oh, I'm gonna bonus action Misty Step
Yep, that makes sense.
to there.
All right.
Oh,
Not sure what they're so upset about.
So wait, quick above table. Did you touch the thing? And is that what
He
caused
has
them to pop up?
he has
Oh,
the
it's
E-word.
currently in my possession.
Okay.
And 5, 10, 15, 20.
Did we?
Are you jumping
fight-
off?
No, I'm skirting the edge.
All right.
Did we fight specters in Death House and or the scary bathtub house?
I don't. You fought shadows in Death House. I'm not sure about the specters in Bergmore Manor.
And then I'm just going to shout back in. Maybe let's not closely engage with the giant clump of enemies that might possibly be convenient for other spells.
Which brings us to the next specter, who 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 Gonna fly straight through Irina
Holy Christ,
instead.
how much movement do they have?
They have 50-foot fly speed.
Cool.
50?
That is a 10 to hit. I imagine that does not hit.
Nah.
Don't they have difficult terrain if they go through things or no?
You're correct. Hold on. So this was here. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. That attack won't hit.
Silvery barbs without silvery barbs.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
That's one of the ones I hit with the spell, right? That
Yes.
second one that just moved. I'll take my reaction to hit that one.
Do it.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's not a magical weapon, so we'll see how how much this really hurts. Okay, D8 plus 1.
And that's actually a good point because that triggers Irina's hits as well. So she'll roll for those.
8, 10, 11 slashing.
11 slashing to the second one. Got it. Same as before, you notice that your blade partially passes through, but you do manage to catch some. Irina is also going to hit just barely on the first one, dealing 11 damage to it. And then she's going to use her reaction on the second one. An attack of opportunity on it. We'll hit there too. For a total of 12 damage on the second one. Which brings us to this one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Gonna go for it. That one will probably hit a 22. Roll me a con save.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and use a luck point to re-roll that.
All right. Alistair, remind me when it's your turn.
Yep.
Oh my god. Remind you twice.
I love this, man. I live for this. I love when you use those.
Do you say you're gonna remind you twice? Are you doing it again, or is that?
What are the odds that 3 in a row don't work? Wow. Higher than you'd think.
Wow.
That's
Ah.
fucked.
So actually 10 is what you needed.
Oh my
Oh
God.
no.
So that time you save.
That's amazing.
You still take 11 necrotic.
Cool.
Which brings
Maybe you
us
should-
to Casimir,
Shit.
who does have vision of this one and is just going to immediately try and fire off a firebolt. Whatever this is, plus 6, 14, that'll hit. For 9 fire, which is enough to dissipate this specter.
Sucker.
Now Sten.
I'll just shout out to Andor. Okay, you have to trust me on this. I'm gonna cast polymorph on him.
Oh god, okay.
I'm gonna turn him into a giant ape.
Love that. All right.
Amazing.
You have 157 hit points.
Let me.
Actually,
Boop.
I'll also send you the stat block for it.
I got the
It's
stat
gonna
block.
shunt.
Okay, good.
It's gonna shunt these over here, and let me change the owner of the giant ape to Andar.
Is it?
Actually, here I can make it. I can make you both the owner. So now, Andar, you can move the giant ape.
He instantly falls off the 30-foot drop.
That's fine. I'm the one concentrating.
So
Take all the damage he wants.
he's got 10 feet on it and 5 feet off. So I'm gonna say he's tenuously balanced, but with 2/3 of his body on it, he's okay right now. My goodness. All right.
And then I will give Bardic Inspiration to who's behind me? Alistair. I think it's the
Cool.
last
Probably
one.
gonna need it.
All right.
Mim. Or unless you want to move.
No, I think I'm good. I would like to really keep an eye on this giant ape I've made.
Yep, fair enough. Mim.
Gonna. Hold on.
Rage.
I'm gonna rage. I would like to rage. Give me 1 second.
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you fail? Do you purposefully fail to become a giant ape on the,
I'll let it
the
happen.
save? Okay.
Or,
Should have been way more clear on that.
I'm gonna move above this one for a moment, if I can. This one.
Okay.
Cast Blooming Blade and attack it. Wonder if
Okay.
I can. Which is normal, not advantage. Or is it dim light? I mean, it's pretty lit up, but I don't know. Oh no, I don't have Shadow Blade. Never mind. Does a 21 hit?
The 21 does hit.
What's versatile?
It
What is
means that you can use it with your deck.
Yep.
Oh. How do I? Oh.
Versatile?
Yeah.
Versatile is you can use it with 2 hands or 1 hand. If you use it with 2 hands, you get one bigger die.
Oh. I don't know why. Okay, it's not letting me do the damage. So,
Oh,
am I attacking myself? Is that what the case? Yeah, it is. Whoops. Okay, attack. This
Don't attack
me.
yourself.
How do I untarget myself?
um,
Help!
there.
Help!
Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Stop hitting yourself.
Oh wait, I already did the attack. The attack was
Yeah, the attack hit.
21.
You're good.
Ignore that. I'm so sorry. Is versatile better than doing the damage? Or
If
is
you're
it-
wielding it
yes.
two-handed, yes.
do that. Still doesn't want me to do. Okay, I understand. Weird.
Is it a
I'm
longsword?
sorry. It's not what. It's no.
You need
it's
to
a
target
short
the
sword.
specter. I don't think you've targeted the specter.
How do I? Okay.
There.
Can
Got
I
him.
use the versatile on a short sword?
Not normally, unless you have like a magic item or something that lets you.
Yeah, no, it'll just be damage.
It should be like a D6. It should just be a D6 only.
Well, with boom, it should be 1d8 of thunder damage.
So yeah, so roll
Yeah.
damage. It'll tell you.
Yeah. I know. I'm trying. No, it's
Here, I got
that's
you.
the problem.
Foundry.
Oh.
I'm hitting it. It won't roll like that.
Yeah, here. Let me see if I can find Booming Blade and just pop it in. Because it seems that
I think it's one I made. Maybe that's why.
I found it here.
Okay.
Let me just
sorry.
add it to your sheet.
Thank you.
There. It is now in your thing.
Yeah. Why? There it is. Fancy. Thank you. Oh, wait, it has a template? Against one creature within 5 feet in a hit, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Yep.
That one. That's so cool.
Boom.
Okay. Damage. So 5 thunder damage.
5 thunder damage.
Yeah, and if it moves more than 5 feet, it takes more damage.
So you need to roll. You need to roll to hit it with the sword. If it moves, it'll take 5 thunder damage. So you hit it with the sword. Yeah.
Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. Yeah. I was reading it wrong. Give me one. Sorry. I've not used it before, so.
Yeah, Booming Blade is a weird spell because it's one I can take as well.
Yeah. So you hit it normally, and then if it moves.
Let me read. Sorry.
Well, can you hit with your short sword?
Yes, I can. I need 30 seconds to just clarify and understand. So give me 30 seconds. Okay. Okay. 7
Alright.
piercing damage.
And then if it moves, it takes 5.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Then I'm going to bonus action disengage.
Uh-huh.
And move. Where was I? I moved here. 15. Here, I think. Can I move there? Or no, I think it would be here. And that's my turn.
Gotcha. Which brings us to this specter. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Does a 10 hit the giant ape?
Nah.
Okay. Which brings us to Alistair.
Cool. I can tell you what I want to do. What I wanted to do was I wanted to run over to about here and activate my radiant thing.
Uh-huh.
What's probably going to happen is I'm going to run to about here and fall prone on the shattered table
Why is that?
because I'm cursed 3 times over.
Twice, just twice.
Just twice.
Okay, twice.
But also
It's only shattered over
not,
here.
That's not a thing. So so move the way you want.
Okay, here.
And then what do you're activating your radiant consumption,
Yep,
which is an ability you activate.
yep.
So you're good.
Okay.
That all fires. Is that a bonus action?
Yep.
Okay. And then what do you do for your action?
I bring out the sun sword.
Okay.
Have some sunlight, motherfuckers.
If you go one to the right, you catch all of them.
I will do that.
Okay. You bring out the sun sword.
Yep. And then I want to hit this one.
You roll a 1.
Yep.
You basically the sunblade bursts forth and it sees it coming and slams out of the way. You actually drop the blade and it scatters over here.
Cool.
As
I
you
will
physically
desummon
feel
it.
yourself let go.
Cool. It's not there anymore. I desummon it.
Cool. That is one of the curse. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Oh right, Mim. Booming blade
It didn't move yet,
at
did
5th level, so you get to roll 1 more d8.
Yeah.
We don't have 5th level
I
spell.
said 2d8. No, it's not fifth level spell.
No, when
it's
you
at
when you reach fifth
when
level,
you're at-
it gets
Oh.
to be 2d8.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
So you'll have to roll one more d8 when it moves. Just FYI.
Oh, also, all of them take, I think it's 3 radiant, because that's the end of my turn.
Got it.
Very cool.
3 radiant. Cool. Which brings us to Irina, who is going to step in, cast Helpful as a bonus action, attack at advantage because it's flanked. Gonna hit, gonna deal 8 points of damage plus 6 points of damage, so 14 points of damage to the Spectre. This one also has advantage on the person who attacks it next, so we'll just put that. And she'll park there, which will bring us to the Spectre. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Both Alistair and Irina get attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
Irina's gonna hit.
13.
13 will also hit.
Okay. I assume it's undead.
It is.
Oh, wait. Do I roll a 1?
You do, but you roll at advantage. So what did
Good
you
point.
roll?
I rolled the 13 to hit.
Okay, well that one's a 1, so roll again.
Okay. 12 to hit?
That'll still hit.
Fucking Jesus Christ. Okay, so then 9 plus undead. So 12 radiant damage from the sun sword.
Got it.
And that's the
Oh,
most
did
the
you have
sun
to
sword's
summon it
ever
back?
done. Well, I think it's free action
Cool.
to summon my pact weapon.
Then that's enough for that one. That one is gone.
Oh, so it would have been an action, but I get 2 actions from fighter.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Like for my second attack, I could have summoned it back the last turn.
Gotcha. And there you go. So that one's dead before it makes it to the ape, which brings us to this Spectre, who is going to move out of the booming blade, which triggers both the 5 damage and you have to roll again.
No, so hold on. Actually, though, Inferno said something, and then I was rereading. Is it's supposed to take the 1d8 thunder damage, to the target on a hit, and then the damage the target takes for moving increases to 2d8. So it's supposed to, I think, if I'm reading it correctly, take the 1d8 thunder damage already, and then now that it's moving, I do 2d8 damage.
It says on a hit, the target suffers the weapon's normal attack effects. Then becomes
and
seized
then-
of energy, and if it moves, it takes the thunder damage. So
At fifth level, the melee attack.
Oh,
deals an
you're
extra
right, you're right.
1d8.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it was. That's correct. That's correct. You're right.
Okay. Well, thank you, Inferno, because that's what I thought it was at first, and then I was like, oh no, you're right, I was wrong,
Yeah.
and then now we
Yeah.
were
So
wrong.
now roll
once you
2d8.
hit fifth level, you start taking off.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you did you take off that first?
Yes.
D8? Thunder. 11 thunder.
All right.
That is
So now
very useful.
it's going to 5, 10,
Why'd you get a
15,
minus 1
20.
then?
Oh, I don't know. Why did it do a -1? Oh, I accidentally hit -1. Sorry, it's 12.
Okay, that's fine.
I have the -1
5,
selected.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Both Sten and Mim get attacks of opportunity.
Was it? Which one was it that moved? The bottom one?
Yes. Is this one.
Ew.
Is the ape okay right now in terms of falling down?
Yes, it's balanced.
Okay. then I will take my attack of opportunity. Nope. I got a 10.
10 will not hit.
The targeting thing is actually pissing me off now.
Here, let me put it next to you.
I'm sorry. Thank you. I was being stupid. There. 15?
That will hit.
6 piercing? Or 11?
That's enough.
Hey!
That one's gone too. This one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. It can't do another diagonal actually because it's out of movement, so 50. Both of you just used your attacks of opportunity, so you can't use it on that one. Andar, you are an ape.
I'm gonna multi-attack
Okay.
Do it.
with my fists. Swinging at this guy.
Can't just call people monkeys.
That'll hit. And which one you said? This is the bottom one?
This guy.
Perfect. Got it. This fist
Eight.
wallops down on the one in front of you.
And I'll attack that one again.
Do it. That'll also hit with prejudice.
My god, I'm rolling decently with a giant ape. Maybe I'll never transform back into a human.
All right. It's still standing. Which brings us to this specter. Unless you want to move. Did you want to move?
No.
Okay. This one moves here. Takes a swing. Will a 17 hit?
Sure will.
Need a con save?
Oh.
You save. You take 8 necrotic as the ape. Brings us to the one. This one is also going to attack. An 11 probably doesn't hit.
Sure doesn't.
Got it. Casimir. 5, 10.
Do it.
If I'm in the way, couldn't he just shove me out of the way? I'm just saying. I'm small.
Throws a fireball through the door.
Incredible.
Beautiful.
Everyone in there needs a deck save.
I'm so proud.
Heinrich getting a little toasty on them.
What the fuck is he doing? This is a balcony. It's like there's a giant fucking ape there. I'm just saying.
All right. This one saves. The one up top saves. The rest don't. They're all gonna take. Oh, and the ape doesn't save. 22 points of fire damage. That's a low fireball. All right. So these 3 all take full. Well, not quite full, but these 2 dissipate as this moat flies through the door and expands into the familiar explosion you guys know to be fireball. This one is going to take significantly less. Also, the ape takes 22. Which brings us to Sten.
Visually, do they look hurt at all, or are they just like significantly more wispy? How is?
Basically, it's very difficult to tell whether they're injured or not.
Okay.
But you've basically, once they're out of HP, they do just like basically wisp out. They no longer can hold their corporeal form. This one seems to be its shape seems to be shifting more. This one seems to be pretty solid still.
I'm gonna take one step out and then like almost chest bump it. So I cast Thunder Wave. Just,
oh my god. Okay.
It needs to make a con save.
Love that.
4.
Pretty sure that fails.
Yes, lovely. Okay, so it takes, what is this? 8, 14, 20 points of thunder damage.
20 points of thunder damage. That's pretty solid thunder damage. And
I
it
cast
is
it 3rd level.
it's enough to dispatch it. You literally chest bump this thing out of existence as you boom, and it just its form whisks off your chest. You've got like this little like smoke rising off of your body.
Oh, did I walk far enough away? It's a 15-foot cube.
Let's
I
find
never
out.
know how targeting works on
Wait,
Thunderwave.
Isn't it?
So it originates from
you?
me. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. It would
So it'd be here.
So could I have gone here to hit the other one?
Yes,
work?
you could have.
Okay.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
Keep the same roll. It needs a 15. Con.
It
Well,
also
same roll.
fails.
Spooky.
All right. That one's shape seems to now be struggling.
Cool. I think that's all I have.
Mim.
Cool. I'm going to move to it if I can reach it. And I think I can. Oh my god, I keep clicking the wrong things. Go to the fucking...
Damage.
I'm blocked by a... It's fine. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a wall right there.
Yeah, but it's only partially there. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So 2 thunder damage plus the sword. So roll me your sword attack,
Yeah,
your
hold
sword
on.
damage.
Let me just do... I'm not here. Okay, I promise. I'm actually there. But, un momento. Well, shouldn't I have done... I needed to hit with the attack first, so it does a 15 hit.
Yes, a 15 hits.
Okay, so then it does take the damage. Sorry. And... Although...
Yeah, so
I
it'll be
just
2
realized-
plus whatever your damage is.
Yeah. I just realized though I have advantage, right? Or no? Because I'm going from here, it just wouldn't let me do it in Foundry.
Yes, it
And
would
is
have
he-
advantage. It's
Okay. Cool, I still hit, but sorry. Damage. Oh. So then
a 12 total,
no.
which is yes.
No.
Oh. 20. So what? 32 total.
Yeah.
That's enough. How do you want to do it?
I just wanna well it's facing him, right?
Yes.
I just wanna poke it in the butt and then it just dissipates.
She literally takes this sword. She it charges it with thunderous energy and rams it up this thing's butt, and there's a boom, and it dissipates off the sword.
Cool. Nice.
Oh, I'm on. That's why it won't let me do it.
I would like to
You
oh, thank
guys
you.
are out of combat. And as you guys are out of combat, you, right as you guys are finishing combat, the doors slam open, and a figure walks in that you don't recognize, but quickly speaks with a voice that you do recognize.
Wow. Oh, so this is where you guys have been.
Who the fuck are you?
Wait, is that a Doonby I hear? Wait, what
Don't
the
rec-
fuck?
Don't recognize me? We've been traveling for so long.
Adunbi, you, look different.
I mean, I feel different. I was taking a short journey to find something about myself that I always knew I had, but I needed time to get it.
Meanwhile, in the
Adunbi.
other room, Andar is still an ape.
And he will be for the next hour.
So you guys have a new traveling companion, a monkey.
Andar,
If he looks like he wants to move, I'll drop it. But only if he...
And,
Talk.
what are you trying to do as an ape, real quick?
I'm just hanging out.
Okay, cool. He's just chilling.
I mean, it's a noticeable improvement over Andar, I have to say.
How did you know he was Andar?
Oh, that's
Also?
Andar?
Who are you?
Sten, it hasn't been that long.
Adunbi?
Don't-
What happened to your ears, Adunbi?
This, it was a story for another time. But,
I kind of think it's a story for now. Also, I still have the blade out.
I'm gonna go. Oh, whoops. I want to go up to Adumbi and touch his face and be like, and like do like this in your
Hello?
face and stuff.
Is it me
Hello?
you're looking for?
hello there too, man.
Why do people keep changing their faces?
I mean, to be fair, I've only changed my face one time. Or, I mean, two,
Okay.
if you count the other time as well. But, I guess if you count all the times that I've transformed into different animals, I can't really count. But,
And Mal, so you do it all the time. Mal did it. Just saying, trust issues, and then they
Hey,
just turn away.
Can I
Same, just-
insight the total stranger that just walked into the room claiming
Yes,
to be
you
a
can.
doobie? Cool.
I'm gonna look up to Apedar.
What? I totally didn't make a different character and just call it a Doomy and try to lie to you guys. That's nothing. I would never do that.
An 11.
11. It is. I mean, you think I'm telling the truth?
All right, then I'll drop the radiant consumption.
Stan, you were saying.
Yeah, I'll look up to Apedar and do you want to stay like this or go back? I need like something
Apedar.
verbal from you. Okay. Maybe right fist, left fist, because that felt like a yes and a no. I wasn't so sure about that.
Oh no, Nick froze.
So
Discord thing, man. Okay.
did Enda attain some druidic properties or something?
Oh, no, we're just trying to figure something out. Okay, and right fist on the ground for yes, left for no. Do you want to not be
You didn't ask me a yes or no question.
I guess I gave you two options, didn't I? Okay, and right fist on the ground for Apedar, left for Andar.
I'll put my left fist down.
I'll drop polymorph then.
Oh man.
You didn't ask me a yes or no question. Oh my god.
like to picture the fact that he just bangs both fists on the ground.
In the meantime, Casimir kind of steps forward. Well, if we're done interviewing this new friend of yours, shall we move on? New, old, whatever.
And you've gotten grumpier since I've last seen you.
I
didn't
didn't
think
say
that
the
was
same thing.
I didn't think that was possible.
Well, to be fair, he was banished for, a good bit.
I know, but I feel like we've been making good progress.
Well,
I'm like helping with that.
you missed a lot.
Oh. What?
Anyway, Casimir starts to head through the door.
Wait. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. Don't go in there.
There's something behind the door.
Just to the left, there's a statue that is like alarmingly alluring. And dead bodies at the base of it.
Wait, are we just going to leave all this food on the table?
There's no longer food on the table. That was an illusion that is no longer there.
Oh.
To you, it's an empty. It's completely abandoned room with a wooden table and empty chairs, and it seems dank and musty.
That is indeed tragic.
But I'm pretty sure where we want to go is through this room. I just don't. Maybe if we close our eyes, I'm not super certain.
Why would we have to close our eyes?
The statue. I'm sorry. Am I supposed to call you a Doonby? You sound like him, but you don't look like him at all.
Yeah, I am still a Doomby, yes.
Okay.
Just because you should get used to me changing forms. I mean, it happens every so often. It's kind of part of what I do.
Okay. Yeah.
You've seen me change forms before, so I don't. That's not why you're.
It's different. It's a little different.
Irina kind of pipes
yes,
in.
no,
Is
but-
this unusual for? Is this a common thing with magic? Because you're all reacting very strangely, but we've seen this has happened once before, and so now I'm starting to think that maybe this is unusual. But evidence would suggest that maybe it's not. I'm confused.
I'm glad that you're catching on, Irina. It's been taking a while, but you honestly seem to be making more progress than the rest. Yes, it's magic can do many things. Transformation is one of them. I can show you sometime if you would like.
Well, the slight condescension seems to be in line with Adumbi.
All right, one problem at a time. We have to get through this room. I'm sure. I just don't know how.
Can we just walk through the door?
No, the statue of Doonby. New Doonby.
Ndumbi.
Well,
Mr. Stoll?
you kind of
So we just
hear like this distant sigh. Yes.
Okay, so when you said careful about the statue, how?
Well, there's a number of you. I'm sure some of you will be able to pull the best from it.
Okay, so...
Stan, he's
not
old.
helping.
He's gonna be an asshole.
He's been nice thus far to me.
It's a powerful enchantment. It can't be removed. You have to figure out some way to get by it.
Is it based on sight or...
I believe, it has been...
God love? Sorry.
It has been many years, but, I do believe that it is the extent of the room. I don't believe that it is sight-based.
Well, that's a shame. All right, Casimir, you go first.
As you wish. And he steps on in and rolls a wisdom save.
Stan, I just have a quick question. Remind me of the do we have to return Casimir alive as well, or just?
And immediately
Oh,
goes
yeah.
towards the statue.
Oh, you have missed quite a lot. We're on our way to talk to very scary Arch Lich, who's going to tell us everything we need to know.
Irina
Okay.
follows.
But does it? It doesn't require Casimir to be alive, right?
This is how we get rid of our NPCs. Just let them go on.
This one's it.
Well,
And goes towards the statue.
I think his quest here is pretty much concluded. The answer that he needs will probably be met with a swift death from Alistair, if he chooses to pursue it any further.
I mean, we came all the way here, so I'm sure we'll find something interesting at the very least.
We'll see, I guess.
Ah, the enthusiasm I missed. Do you think they're fine in there? They haven't said anything in a while time.
No, quietness in this place is bad, very bad.
Should we check on them?
Alistair?
Did you say to close our eyes while walking in there, or?
No, nothing can help you there.
Yeah, okay.
Before I go over to them, I'm gonna just look down at the sword and just be like, why couldn't you have been something useful? And then shunt it away and then walk out of the room.
Feels bad, man.
This fucking sword, man. Bane of my goddamn existence.
Okay, Alistair, just real quick recap. Scary statue in here, and it's not just me, it's a very scary statue.
I'm sure it's fine.
No, well,
Sten, I can't get past you. I keep running into this wall.
Are you going in?
Yep.
Roll me a wisdom save.
Yep. I'm really good at these. $18.
You are fine. You feel the pull of the statue, but are able to resist. You see Casimir and Irina just sitting at it and staring at it, like full cross-legged, like school
Sten?
children.
Sten, what the fuck?
yes, I know. I'll walk in. How long has it been since I...
5 minutes.
Damn. I gotta roll again. Do I have to roll again?
No. You've resisted its
Okay.
effects. You're aware.
Oh, good. Yeah, when I walked in, there was just the most alluring pull to it. I kind of reckon that's why they're dead. I'll point to the bodies around.
Yeah, they're literally sitting like next to desiccated corpses.
Well, if you're fine, then I must be.
Roll me a wisdom save, Adunbi. Oh, you stuck, Andar?
Super stuck.
It's time to roll. That's 13.
You
No.
head towards the statue.
I'm gonna try and grab him as he's moving.
Uh,
to do me.
Statue looks amazing.
he's gonna keep
be a
going.
drooly.
He's compulsively pulled towards it.
I will grab him and halt him.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
trying
Like
to
all of
move
my
him back,
strength.
All right, cool. So the two of you are able to hold him in place.
I don't understand why you're holding me from this. This statue looks amazing. Do you not see this
Yeah.
statue?
No.
But it's so pretty. Do you see how dull and rusty it looks? Utterly magnificent.
Sten, any idea how to get this out of them?
I don't know. If we could quickly find where the next room is, maybe that could help.
I'm gonna say behind us.
He said northwest, generally.
Pacifica.
I'll just point to the north wall. That way? Yes, Pacifica way.
No, Pacifica. Say Pacifica Northwest. Oh.
Just generally that way. I'll point towards the corner of the room.
Is that towards the statue or?
No!
That's
Stop
away
talking
from
about the
the
statue of Doomby. You don't want it. And
Sten,
what's that room thing you have?
gonna
Find
reach
it.
out and hand Sten the Wand of Secrets.
Okay, how does it work? I just beep.
You just wave it as you would. You can only do it
All right.
once, though.
I think
Oh,
you have to
don't want
say
it back.
bippity boppity boo.
All right.
You've got to twirl around 3 times.
Okay. All right, Doomby, don't move.
Check your heels.
I'll twirl around 3 times. I'll
Can't
jump up,
promise
clack
anything.
my heels, bippity boppity boo. Look at that.
It lights up and it starts flashing. And as you kind of wave it over the room, it flashes over in this direction. Mim flies in and immediately starts flying towards the statue.
I will let Adoombi go and grab Mim.
Okay. Adunbi, you walk towards the statue. Alistair grabs Mim instead. Adunbi
Nope.
goes and sits with Casimir and Irina.
I'll.
You're muted.
I guess I'll head this way.
There is a secret door
Oh
there.
God. Oh jeez.
Oh, skulls. Pretty.
That's definitely. That can't be what we're looking for. Hello?
So the floor of this room is littered with skulls. And there's a 30-foot high ceiling. And this room appears to just be straight walls, no lights. The only light coming in is feeding in from your side of the room. And up on the ceiling is an upside down iron chest with a barrel-shaped lid. And it seems to have something carved into the surface of the chest as well.
I'll cast message to Andar. I'll make sure I'm close enough. Oh yeah, it's 120 feet. Okay, so can you ask Mr. Stolt if we're looking for a room with skulls?
I'm just going to lean over the little banister thing. Say, excuse me.
Yes.
We seem to have found a room littered with human skulls.
Yes, that would be the entryway. One room off.
Oh no.
So we just keep going through then.
Yes, that should be correct.
Just straight through?
Just straight through.
Thank you for being so helpful.
You're welcome. Good luck.
This guy's so-
Adoombi, can you hear me?
Mim's struggling against you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm holding her.
Yep. She's easier to restrain.
Yeah.
Adunbi appears to be on the phone.
If I
Can
instruct Doctor Who to keep me moving towards the other side, can I roll an advantage on a wisdom save? If it
How wise is
matters
your owl?
in this
Your
world.
owl would have to also make the save, but yeah, we'll have it. You get 2 chances, so either one of you would.
If it matters, in this realm, my familiar has immunity to all mind-altering effects, including charms, compulsions.
Then yes, I would say you get to
Yo.
roll at advantage. That does matter.
That's amazing. Also, do I get a reply out of Adoombi? That's what I was looking for.
Sorry,
Like, is he able to talk?
my headphones died, and I
Oh,
went
you're
to
good.
plug them in. Yeah, so if you said something, I might have missed it. What did you ask?
He basically said, if he asked, "Can you hear me?" Which you would be able to hear him. Yes.
Oh, of course, I can hear you, but you don't seem to be saying anything about the statue. So I'm kind of confused. on why.
isn't it? It's just stunning.
Is the
Honestly,
statue
Irina, It's the first time that I think that I've agreed with you in a long time, and it's an amazing statue.
Is the statue itself magical for
Um,
purposes of animating performance?
it says suppresses its magic, so I'm gonna say yes. It is magical.
It is magical. Damn.
All right.
That would be cool.
4 of us, hear me out. This solves most of our problems. Let's just move on. They're not in danger here.
I'm gonna give the wand back to Andor.
Thank you. I'm glad you figured out how to use it.
The instructions were very
Also,
clear.
the grumpy wizard just told us to go straight through.
Straight through into, as you see, this lovely skull room behind me. Into here.
That one. So, on you go.
What did he say about helping our friends with the statue?
He basically just said a few of us will be able to figure it out. I really
spells
say we
do
just
I
leave
have?
them here. They're
Yes, yes,
safe.
leave me
They're
here.
not being hurt.
I'm gonna try casting Dispel Magic on a Doonby.
Okay. I have to check something. All right.
Choose one creature, object, or magical effect. Yeah, I think that'd still be on one person, right?
Okay. Okay, you're gonna cast on a Doonby.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
I kind of just want to leave Casimir here.
I mean, really, he was who I was talking
You
about.
cast
Yeah.
Dispel Magic on a
Uh-huh.
Doonby, and it takes no effect.
Interesting. Don't
Gonna
even roll
cast
for it.
suggestion on
Okay.
Irina.
Ooh, okay. You cast Suggestion.
Does Adimbi go back to looking like previous Adimbi?
No.
I was gonna say, I know the statue's pretty, but maybe we can come back. We should really go through this door over here. Or you should really go through this door over here.
Isn't Suggestion one word?
No, you suggest a course of activity.
Oh, right,
limited to a
okay.
sentence or two.
Yeah.
That's command you're thinking of.
I am thinking of command. Hold on. I have to determine what plays priority here.
Well, is the other one a magical effect?
It is.
Because wouldn't Dispel Magic have worked then?
No. I checked something.
I would think she would then save against it. Like she'd have to roll the
Well,
save.
she still has to save against Suggestion. So what is it she saves from?
Wisdom save,
Wisdom save.
which she's already proven she can't handle, so. Oh my god.
No, she saves on that one.
What a pain they are.
Really, we could just leave them here.
I could go through that door, but look at this statue. Its features are incredible.
Do you think we should touch the statue?
I'm gonna
We could
drag
touch the
Adimbi.
statue.
I'm
I'm
also
gonna drag
gonna.
Adimbi to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
God damn. Wow. Okay.
You're
How
gonna.
do you break free from grasp?
You
You're-
can certainly try.
Yeah, it's a grapple. So you're grappled.
Yeah, how do I do that? How do I try?
You roll athletics or strength against his. No, it's athletics or acrobatics against his athletics.
Yep. Oh, she
Do I
breaks
win?
free.
Oh, you're
Dexterity
free.
is acrobatics. I want to just dash over to it and hug
Cool, I grab her again. I can do this all day.
All right,
I'm not
so you
affected
walk
by the
over.
statue.
You walk over and re-grab her.
it. I'm hugging it.
And you know what? I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm pulling her into this room.
All right.
I'm trying to do the same thing with the Doombee.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm gonna break her line of sight to the statue.
So, real quick, roll me to grapple. Make sure you successfully grapple her, both you and Sten. So,
Natural 20.
okay, so Mim, you're grappled. And then it's opposing athletics for Doonby and Sten.
Good luck. I got a 6.
I'm gonna cast Hold Person at 3rd level on Mim, Irina, or at 4th level on Mim, Irina, and Adunbi.
You might hold on. You might not have to on Mim because Mim's been pulled. So
I rolled a 6.
okay, meets it, beats it.
Meets it, beats it. Yeah.
So hold on, Mim. As your line of sight breaks, roll me a Wisdom save, and then Andar, what level are you spending for Hold Person for the other ones? You're no longer affected, Mim.
We'll go with 3rd, I guess.
All right, so the three of
I'm
them.
casting it at 4th, but I'm just doing it on Irina and Adunbi.
Okay, Irina and Adunbi. So the two of them are held. Well, they have to save, right? What's the save?
Yeah, it's I think a Wisdom save.
Okay.
Oh no, that's
Oh,
bad.
jeez.
Irina succeeds.
Wisdom is, I believe, +8.
Do you think they save from it again if they take damage?
19.
19.
All right, well, I've tried. They can stay here.
Cool. Goodbye,
In
me.
front of a Doombee and slap him in the face. Debbie, snap out of it!
Jesus. I mean, I know that we're reunited again, but I'll see you guys in a bit.
Did it do any damage?
Are you
do-
intending to
can you-
hurt him? Are you unarmed striking
yeah,
him?
I'm trying to wake him up, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So roll the hit.
Attack.
You missed.
I don't have that high AC. I don't even have my shield on, so I don't believe it.
12.
Actually, I do.
12 hit.
Yes.
Woo, it does 1 damage.
You are now at 64 hit
64.
points.
Sick.
Does not break it.
It doesn't re-roll? That's crazy.
I really don't appreciate you smacking me across the face, then.
What do I
That
do
was
to you?
extremely uncalled for.
Then just leave him.
He walked all this way just to speak to us. We can't just leave him.
I
But
will
he
be
also
with you in a
looks
second.
completely different.
I will be with you in a second. I just need some time with the statue.
Oh wait, no, wait, hold on. If the yeah. No, it's still good.
It's definitely him, but I don't trust that. Not here.
I don't trust you either.
I'm
I
good
guess.
now. Can I be free now?
Yeah, I'll let go.
Statue is pretty ugly.
Don't say that about the statue. It's beautiful.
Do I? I don't have any more teleport spells. No.
Anyway, I'm gonna push on the wall behind me.
Now that he let me go.
You are in a room filled with skulls, and there's a chest on the ceiling with an inscription on it.
Oh. Wait, did they touch the chest?
No, it's on the ceiling.
Nobody's been in this room yet. I just pulled you in here to break your line of sight.
Oh. Cool. I want to touch it.
All right, you fly up. There appears to be writing on it. It's in a language that you don't speak.
God damn it. It's useless.
Give me a sec. I'm gonna go and pull a Doombie into this room.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast Vortex Wrap Warp on Irina.
All right, what's the save?
That's a con save. Let's see if you can roll insane numbers again. Of course you.
Are you fucking
It's a
kidding me?
14.
That doesn't beat it.
No, a 13 actually.
That's against a 16.
Perfect. So where you popping her?
In the skull room.
She re-rolls the wisdom save.
She walks back out.
And still fails. And
You said you were
walks
doing
back
an
out.
athletics check, Hermes?
Oh, I'm gonna try to stop
Yeah.
her. She tries
Alright.
to walk past.
All right.
Nothing, Alistair.
I rolled a 4, so
22.
yeah, you got me.
All right, I'm gonna try and break a dubious line of sight. We're getting tight in here.
And our roll me athletics against Irina's athletics.
Ew.
You do manage to stop her. Andar, but I don't understand why. I just want to look at the statue. There's no harm in that.
I'm about to become very unpleasant.
But
I'm gonna kill all of them.
all right. So, Alistair, you pulled him in.
Yep.
All right, and Adunbi breaks free of it.
Oh. Well, that was weird.
Please, I
Yeah,
just
not the greatest statue.
I just want to see the statue again. She's gonna try another saving throw as you stall her another round.
As
She
she's
finally
making her
saves. She goes,
wait, as she's making her saving throws, I try to slap her across the face to wake her up. Snap out with Arena.
roll the hit. At advantage because technically she's flanked.
With his staff. She
No,
fucking
this is
disintegrates.
I just backhand her. Where's the? Is there like a way to quick roll attacks somewhere?
You could just roll 2d20.
Yeah, okay, I'll just roll 2d20.
And then add your strength. That's above her AC.
15.
Oh, it's not above her AC.
Oh, she has 16 AC.
She has 16 AC. So you you go to backhand her, and she goes, "Hey, what the heck? Oh, the statue. Why did I think that was pretty? God, I hate magic."
I hate swords. Let's
Hey.
get going.
Hey.
Okay, excuse me, pardon me, pardon me. Woohoo.
You guys all
Try and
just
squeeze it in.
you guys all just leave and Casimir out there.
Yes, 100%.
Wait, where's
Not a good idea.
Oh, we're just leaving.
Yes.
Okay. Well. Okay, so you guys all try and cram into this room. It's very tight. You guys
I'm
are
above.
yeah, Mim's
Fine.
floating above everybody, but everyone else is kind of cramming in. They're crunching on the skulls on the floor.
Hey, wouldn't it be funny if Cloud Kill got cast in here right now?
Mim, the chest is the chest is made entirely of iron and is literally hanging upside down from the ceiling.
Oh, it's upside. So like I can't like, try and push or grab it or whatever.
Well, you could. It's stuck. It's as if it was glued to the ceiling upside down.
Is there a lock?
It appears to have a lock.
Can I pickpocket it or not pickpocket? Unlock
Can,
it?
Lockpick.
can anybody in this room currently read the language that's on this thing?
You can.
Great. I'm
What-
so excited that I can
what is
read it. it's
So it's in Celestial.
that's
I can read it
celestial.
too.
Oh, so yeah, so Sten can also read it.
I'm currently pulling out my lockpicks.
It says in Celestial, greed has no place in the heart of the scholar, for the truest treasure is knowledge.
Mim, don't open that. Do not open that.
Wow. What does it say?
It's a warning of greed. Don't open a chest.
Not greedy. Oh, is
I'm
that
not
what it
saying you are. I'm just saying you have your lockpicks in
Yeah.
your hand.
I'm gonna pick up my teeth. I put them away.
In Celestial, I'll call out, hello, is seeking knowledge.
Interesting.
Isn't knowledge kind of groovy too?
You hear a slight almost like you know those like little kind of like sparkle effect noises.
Uh-huh.
You, as you speak the Celestial, you hear it against this wall.
I'm gonna look for, because didn't he mention there was a brick or something like that along one of the walls? I'm gonna feel up the wall.
All right, roll me an
Gun
investigation.
alley this bitch.
Roll me an investigation at advantage.
Oh, neato. Investigation. Cool. 16.
All right. With a 16, kind of feeling on the wall, you do feel that there is a slight indent in one of the bricks that almost feels like a little handhold.
I must touch it.
All right. As you put your hand in it, you feel that the stone can actually rotate in your hand.
Super slow. I think I found something. Creak.
You creak open the door, and you see inside the room, facing the other direction, is this dark cloaked figure, and you see the back of an ivory skull with a circlet on it, this flowing cloak, and this skeletal hand that is floating across the room towards a scroll and is like about to unroll it. And then at the creak of the door, it turns around. Yes!
Hi there. Hi.
Hello? Did I invite you in?
The other
Love him.
the other denizen here told us we could find you here.
Oh! So you are
Can we
guests.
chat?
Come in. I'm so sorry. I must have forgotten. Please remind me, what's the nature of your visit? I apologize. I haven't the foggiest.
Oh dear. Okay, so we're on a knowledge quest, I suppose. Kind of surrounding what happened, and I'll point generally this way.
Okay.
Down there. Over there, but downstairs.
Oh, well, that is a truly tragic nature of a visit, but I'm always excited to meet fellow knowledge seekers. Please, come in, sit. So remind me, did I invite you, or?
No, the other denizen in the temple told us this is kind of unprompted. My name is Sten. What's your name?
Sten, wonderful to meet you. I'm I can't seem to remember who I am.
This guy being real.
Yeah, well, he lost his mind apparently. So.
You don't happen to know my name, do you? I can't seem to recall.
Well, let's just go down the alphabet. Does it start with A?
A,
No, surely not. What about B?
B.
I seem
Well,
to remember your name being Tim.
Tim. Well, that
Wait,
doesn't
look
feel
like a
right.
Tim?
Tim. Tim's the one. Tim's that other wizard who casts explosive fireballs and things. No, not. I remember Tim.
Do you have a journal of yours, perhaps, or something? Around
Oh,
here?
I do. Yes, of course. My journal. Yes, here. Come here. He takes you over and he picks up this big leather-bound tome. Yes, it has many names in it. None of them appear to be mine. I don't seem to remember.
Oh, pick one.
Guys, I've made the decision. This is the fated ally now.
Yes, there's many names in here. Very detailed names, but I don't seem to recall any of them being mine. Anyway, I'm so sorry. You were saying, what was your name?
Oh, yes, I'm Sten.
Sten! Wonderful to meet you, Sten. And why did you say that you were here?
Oh, dear. There's going to be a lot of this. Yes, we're on a knowledge-seeking quest about...
Knowledge seeking! I love meeting fellow scholars. Yes, of course.
Excuse me. Ma'am, do you mind if I just kind of look around a little? I love all your decorations.
Hello, Mim. I see that you're a fairy of the Feywild. That is so wonderful. It's been quite an age since I've seen one of your kind. Yes, of course. Feel free to look around. You're absolutely welcome.
You've seen one of me before?
Oh, yes. I've been to the Feywild many times. It was a grand trip.
Ever been? I'm gonna start looking around.
Anyways, we're on a knowledge-seeking quest.
Yes, a fellow scholar. Wonderful to meet. I love scholars.
There was a man who, broke one of those pieces of amber over there, downstairs.
Oh. Well, that's a sad topic. Are we sure that that's one that you'd like to discuss?
We have come all this way. Choo-choo.
Sorry.
Well,
Does
yes.
Liam see that?
Yes, it does.
Oh, good.
I'm looking around, okay? Do your thing.
He goes and he kind of slumps onto this very worn, very decrepit bed. Like the mattress is basically worn away, but he kind of still sits on the edge. Yes, well, I am familiar with the slab of which you speak. What is it that you'd like to know? He kind of rubs his eye as if he's tired, but there's no eye to rub, so he just kind of his fingers just go in the socket of the skull.
Oh, God. It's kind of tall. I guess I'll look around. Oh, dear. I honestly didn't think we'd get this far.
Yeah, so also real quick description of the room. The room's 15 feet high, and generally everything in here is pretty fine. It's very ornate furniture. There's exquisite rugs and tapestries, decorative statuary, but it's all very worn down and kind of, although the room's well lit and fairly clean by standards, things seem to be in various states of disrepair and kind of rot and age. There's thick dust and cobwebs on a number of sections that seem to be less utilized than others. And red pinpoints of lights burn in the skeleton eye sockets.
A question.
Yes.
This seems super important. Can we bathroom break real quick? Because
Yes.
I don't want to miss anything.
No, absolutely.
Cool.
We'll bathroom break and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
After these short messages.
Because, ultimately...
Well, the thing is, right, is we don't have anything. Strahd hasn't really done anything. He wants Irina. That's all we know.
Well, he
we're
messed with
pretty
you.
Far. Yeah, but even that was...
And he killed someone right in front of us.
She was betraying him.
But
Yeah.
as far as the
done
book, sure.
In front of us, he's done all reasonable things so far.
Well, didn't
but-
he kill his brother?
Yeah.
He killed his own brother. I'm just saying. I know it's
So
before.
the
But also,
stories-
that was, as that was told to us, it was a duel.
Well,
So that's
yes,
up
but
to
no.
character
What
belief.
what he said, but then what we read from the book, it wasn't a duel.
Right.
And what I read from the book was all, since he came through, everything became dark and gloomy. And it's because of him.
Yeah. Everybody in Barovia is suffering. And we think, what we know points to it being Strahd or Strahd's fault.
But I still think
And I
right
guess-
now, our character motivation has to be more, hey, how do we free Barovia of this? Not, hey, we want to kill Strahd, right?
Yeah.
So then I would say it's probably how do we get Vampire back in here?
Yeah.
Because he made the deal
Yeah.
and all that happened. So then how do we undo that? Is that what we ask?
How do we undo everything Strahd's done
Yeah.
and get rid of the fog?
Yeah, honestly, that's our end goal, right? Is to get through the mist. Which is
was my
unfortunate
end.
because we know that it can't happen, but
Yeah, I think I'll try that.
Okay.
Or I'll start with that, and then if anyone has any other.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I guess we also, because there were a bunch of wizards here before.
They all died.
They all died. How did they all die? Just
I don't think we know.
were they all? Oh,
Old age,
so maybe we can ask. Hey,
Spontaneous
Well, also-
what's
combustion,
all
I
the
think.
other wizards?
I mean, there's also flame skulls here, so
Don't they make the flame skulls or something like that?
no,
What's
they're from
the-
wizards.
They are
They are
wizard
wizards.
they're
skulls.
probably
They're
from
wizard
this
skulls.
guy.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
So this
and he
guy
just doesn't remember.
He killed all the wizards and doesn't remember.
Well, or he might be one of them. Right? We don't know.
Yeah. Okay. He's so nice, so let's not bring back his memory yet. Let's just hang out.
All right.
I know I'm in one spot. My hands are popcorn dirty though. I am moving around the room.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Cool. Ow.
Odunbi, are you hanging back or have you entered?
I'm adventurous.
All right. So he's turning to you guys and he's like, "What is it that you'd like to know?" And then as Irina enters, he turns, "Tatiana! It's so good to see you. How are you?"
shit.
And he flies
well, that
over.
changes things.
Let's table
Oh
talk
my,
again.
you look lovely. What have you done with your hair? It's so different. Tell me, how are you and Sergei? I am so excited for the wedding.
Okay, cool. Perspective.
Irina is particularly taken aback.
Um.
You're dressed
Yeah.
differently. Has Strahd been teaching you combat? Have you been sparring with him? I know that he seems to fancy you a little bit. It does seem. She's very flustered.
Tatiana's a little bit tired.
Oh yes, of course. How rude of me. I'm so sorry. And what was it that your name was again? Oh, Mim. Yes, of course. Feel free. Look around. It seems you're already doing so.
Sten, I think this classifies as the ultimate old person.
I mean, they did say he lost his mind. I can clearly see it's not here. Friend?
Yes, well, me? Is that, am I a friend? Were we friends?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I just forgotten your name.
Oh.
But never mind that. I'm here to ask a couple questions.
Yes, of course.
Finding anything? Oh, sorry, before we get too into it, because I've been looking around for a while. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
So this whole room is filled with scrolls, books, various scholastic tomes on magic, Barovia. There's maps. There's guides on flora and fauna. This whole place is stacked with info. And he's got his journal, which he went over to on his desk. And then there's some scrolls. There's some flasks. There's what appear to be old broken potions. There's a bunch of stuff in here.
Sorry, you may keep going. I will ask later.
I'm sure you're aware of the amber pieces about in this temple.
Oh, yes, the slabs, of course.
If you break one and whatever is inside gets out, how do you do the opposite?
Oh, breaking them is not to be advised. We did a lot of work to try and contain those dark vestiges. They are very secure prisons. If they're to be broken, they cannot be repaired.
Oh.
I mean, well, it could
So-
be repaired if you were to have a whole army of high intelligent and highly trained wizards, but unfortunately, most of them have died.
Well, we have Andar.
And who is Andar?
I'm just sitting in the middle of the floor casting identify or detect magic.
Nice.
That one.
Oh, him! Yes, of course, he does seem like the wizard type. We need about 50 more of him. Do you have 50 more Andars?
Just one more, and I'll turn to Andar.
You see, as we're walking around, we found a broken piece of amber, and it would be really, really neat, I think, if we could, that was not that.
Well, are you referring to the broken slab in the library?
Exactly that one, yes.
Yes, tragic tale, that one. Unfortunately, it cannot be repaired, not without about 50 wizards, but, I fear that one's damage is done.
Just curious, because we ran into someone else here who, tried to make a deal. How do you break those?
He kind
If
of,
you
like,
say
pauses
yes.
for a second. And you see his what would be his eyes kind of squint for a second as, like, the flames kind of narrow. Wait a second, why are you trying to find out how to break the amber slabs?
No. The deal they make.
Oh, the Vestiges. Well, of course, they offer power and abilities of various kinds. It depends on which Vestige. They're all different. They all have different personalities, different goals. And they all feed off of mortals in different ways. They're very threatening. They're very frightening creatures. But, yes, it depends on the slab. Which slab are we referring to?
The one in the library.
Oh, the broken one in the well, that was formerly Vampire, but Vampire's been broken out for ages. Unfortunately, that was Strahd's doing.
And there's no way to break that deal that they've made?
Oh,
Or is
no.
there-
Once the Dark Vestige is free, getting them back in is very difficult. Requires quite an army of wizards. At least about 50. Very highly trained. And as far as any deals that they've made, well, that's between them and that's between the Chosen Champion and the Vestige itself. Usually some sort of dark pack of some sort of power. Usually comes with some dark curse that the mortal wasn't anticipating. Very frightening things.
If
Nasty
they were-
business. You don't want to get mixed up in that.
Well, what
they
was?
were-
Do you know? Sorry, you were talking.
No, go ahead.
Do you know what the deal was that Strahd made, or why he would do that?
Well, if memory serves, immortality, eternal youth, vampirism, increased strength.
Yeah, you know the whole entire spiel.
Can
Okay,
I do something?
Yeah, of course. What's up?
timeline is.
Can I sleight of hand swap his notebook for the Tome of the Morning Lord?
You can attempt.
Cool. Well, that did a lot of rolling. It's 12. Also, I look like Andar, so there's that.
Wait, what?
I look like
Yes, he
Andar, because
turned
when
into
he was
Andar.
like, we need about 50 more, I'd like, well, we have one, and I changed into Andar.
Oh, you changed into Andar.
Yep.
All right. You attempt to switch it with a 12. Hold on, let me make this.
I guess I'd be talking to him.
With the 12, you go to switch it. He goes, "Oh yes, my journal. That's over there. What exactly are you trying to take my journal?"
Just looking through it.
Well, it's got plenty of names in it. None of it appear to be mine. It's very strange, right? All these names, and none of them are mine.
And then playing on his lack of any kind of knowledge, I'm just going to still do it.
All right. Roll a sleight of hand again.
Much better. 23.
All right. That time he doesn't appear to notice.
We found ourselves in this place with someone who tried to make a deal, and then they perished. Is that deal gone now, or?
Immediately perished, you say?
believe so, yes.
Well, I have to imagine if they immediately perished, then they weren't considered to be worthy of a champion of the Vestige in which they were interacting with. How strange.
Oh.
Which Vestige was this that you speak of?
Sorry?
Which is this one that died? Which was this?
Oh, I don't know, some guy.
No, not the person, the Vestige. What slab was it?
I don't know, what slab was it?
Fekra, I believe.
Fekra! Oh, nasty business. Queen of pox, contagions, diseases, very frightening. Boils, pustules.
Any idea what she'll do now that she's out?
Oh, she's out, is she? Oh, that's not good. Well, I imagine she'll probably try and go start another plague somewhere. Kind of scratches his skull as if he's itching his head.
That's what I thought.
So, if you're dead, there's no deal, or if you're dead, there is the deal. Anyways.
He puts his finger and kind of taps his chin, and it kind of clicks. I guess it would depend on the Vestige, but generally speaking, if you're dead, you can't really fulfill the portion of your deal, correct? I mean, I guess there could be portions where the deal's done before you die, but in theory, they need the champions to provide some sort of service to them, or provide them some sort of sustenance. You see, dark Vestige, they feed on souls, or if not souls, other versions of souls, whether it be names, or it could be victims that have fallen to disease in case of Fekra, or suffering, pain. These are all things that they might feed off of and become stronger. And so normally the chosen champion will inflict these things upon various populaces or people, and those, by doing so, will strengthen the Vestige in which they've become tied to, in a way. Tit for tat. They gain power, and the Vestiges gain victims.
Lovely. Have you stepped outside any time in the last, couple 100 years?
You see, actually, for a moment, this kind of somber face kind of sets over the skull, and, well, no, I must guard this place and the secrets that it holds. You see, I once had a great many friends here. We studied and shared our knowledge and secrets, and this was a haven of our accomplishments until, one by one, they started to be influenced by the dark Vestiges we had worked so hard to capture, and turned against one another and started killing each other until I'm the last one left. I unfortunately was away for a great deal of the killings and came back to find what once was our greatest accomplishment, a form of ruin, and the guilt has haunted me since. So I don't leave. I stay here. I keep it safe and keep an eye on it and try and honor the legacy of my friends.
I'm sorry that's happened to you. My friends we're really trying to leave. It's like a deadly fog surrounding this area.
Oh, the fog! Well, yes, that's Strahd's doing. It is. The fog is well, not Strahd's doing specifically. It's more of Vampir's doing. It's the dark powers toying with him in his curse. You know it. You know how it is. Like I said, the aspects that they aren't aware of when they agree. The dark powers always have some sort of angle that they never let on to the mortals. It's very, very dark. I'm sorry, what was your name?
Oh, hi, I'm Sten.
Oh, Sten! Lovely to meet you. And what were we talking about?
Oh, we're on a knowledge quest.
Knowledge quest? Oh, well, I love meeting fellow scholars. That's incredible. Yes, of course. Let's discuss.
We're trying to leave the fog.
Oh, the
How would
fog!
you do that?
Oh, well, leaving the fog's quite difficult. It's no one's been able to do it except for the Vistani for many, many years. I imagine if you were to leave the fog, you would have to lift the curse.
Oh, and how would, just simply, how would you do that?
Oh, well, the curse is a complex thing. I imagine, well, you see, the curse is a sort of constant torture loop of Strahd's own design. You see, he fancied after you, Tatiana. Yes, you remember this, the wedding and Sergei and all this. Yes, of course. So Strahd constantly strives after Tatiana, and Tatiana is constantly reincarnated within the land itself. Because the souls cannot leave. You see, it's a giant soul trap. Very, very devious design. No one can enter or leave, including the souls of those who are within the realm. And then if people are born and there's no souls, then they're essentially just empty husks. But I'm getting off topic. So the curse itself is essentially taking all of Barovia and transferring it into its own specific demi-plane. That's kind of a prison of Strahd's, in a way. He can't leave either, you see. The Vistani can come and go, but the Strahd is stuck here as much as anyone else. And although he's gifted with this tremendous power and this tremendous lifespan and all of these wondrous things that would make him essentially a superhuman, he is set in this endless cycle of torture of he's chasing a love that he can never have, you see. And he killed his entire family in pursuit of something that can never be his. And the dark powers constantly bring her back, and then she dies, and he has to try again, and he's tried over and over, but it's never seemed to work. What were we talking about?
Has it been 10 minutes?
Sure.
For Andar?
Oh, for Andar, yes. So detect magic. A lot of magic in this room. Magic tomes, magic scrolls. He's like radiating magic. There is, please hold.
Magic gumbo. Baked gumbo. Baked magic. What's the... Well, never mind. My brain is not there. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
I have...
There's magic radiating from this wall. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Magic radiating from this wall. Magic radiating from this wall.
As I see Andar, like looking around the room, I'm gonna tap my cloak. Because I just have the book underneath my cloak.
I guess as he's rambling, under my breath, I guess. So to break the curse, you have to break the pattern?
Excuse me, are there doors up here?
Doors? Well, there's one on the right side. It's over here. He kind of leads you over. He goes, it doesn't really lead anywhere. It goes to this closet, which goes to the library. Have you been to the library? It's lovely. There's many, many, many books.
I have been to the library.
Oh, well, then you don't need to go that way. And he shuts the door.
Why do you have blank books in the library?
Oh, the books aren't blank. They're magically protected. You see, all of the knowledge stored within is there's a word. What was that word? Anyway, I don't remember the word, but there's a word that it puts all the words on the page. It's like a lock, almost. Magic enchantment. We used to defend all of our knowledge, you know. Naturally, many wizards, we had to make sure that our knowledge was not to be tampered with, so we protected it.
Naturally. What about
Anyway,
there's lots of magic up here.
Oh, I don't know what's up there.
Excellent. I'm gonna shuffle around on the wall a little bit, see if I can find anything.
All right. Roll me investigation check. So with an investigation check, you can see that very faintly, kind of etched into the stone, almost imperceptible, appears to be an arcane lock spell. And it, from your reading of the runes, it requires a trigger word.
Which I
I'm gonna
guarantee he doesn't know.
Go look at all the pieces of paper and scrolls and stuff that I can find to see if I find anything.
All right.
Irina?
Irina's a little overwhelmed. You see that she's doing the white knuckle clench.
Is there any corner of your mind who you might know who this is?
Hold on. Let's find out. Damn. She kind of thinks for a moment, and you see she's kind of like almost wincing. I think he was a friend of all of us, not just me, but Sergei and Strahd as well. He had come to Barovia to study with the other wizards. No, not Kazan. Kazan was the other one.
Would she be making an intelligence check?
She was.
I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability on her
Okay.
to give her Fox's Cunning. She gets an advantage. when she
Okay.
rolls them.
That turns it into a 19. Eggs. X is something. His name was
Hey,
X
Exy.
something.
Exy? I'll call out to him.
He kind of like tilts his head. X. I'm sorry, did you sneeze?
No. Thought he was onto something.
Oh, well, anyway, what were we doing? Are we looking for something? He sees like Mim and Andar kind of looking around the room. I'm sorry, did we lose something? I'm so sorry. What have we lost? I've been distracted.
We're here on a visit.
Oh, you're visiting. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been a terrible host. What make yourselves at home, please.
I'll just try to keep pulling his attention from people who are rifling through his stuff.
Alistair, what are you doing?
I'm literally going around in circles because we're not learning anything. So Alistair's just pacing back and forth.
You just learned a decent chunk, I would say.
Sten, are we
Yeah.
going? Because right now I feel like going and looking at the statue.
Well, enhanced ability lasts for an hour. I might.
Yeah, you
Anything,
see,
Irina.
you see, she's
I
kind of
know we're
wincing. She turns to him. Excuse me, could you tell me about the wedding? And you see, he kind of stops. Well, I still feel guilty about the wedding.
What you talking about?
What do you guys do?
That's what he said. He said, "What you talking about?"
Was that in character?
Probably.
I'm sorry, you feel guilty? What happened?
Well, you see, Strahd and I were friends before
Red flag.
It's my fault he freed Vampire. he'd come and visit, and we would share knowledge. He's a fellow scholar. He had a great deal of experience in war and was a study of the arcane arts, and I myself was one who had come to Barovia in search of knowledge, and we liked to discuss history and drink a bottle of wine and talk, and he would come by, and I thought that he was just making friendly visits, but it was too late before I realized that he was being drawn as my friends had been to one of the vestiges, and I was distracted with my studies and with the preservation of my other friends, and so I missed that he had negotiated terms with Vampire, and his deal culminated in the wedding of Sergei and Tatiana.
We
That's
should pause
when...
for a second.
Pausing.
Nick can't hear you.
Who can't hear you?
Nick.
Nick can't hear you.
Oh, that's a problem.
Wow, this is going to be the worst view I think you've ever seen. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
What is it, OBS? Boom.
Amazing.
All right.
All right.
I really like the deadline in the middle.
Yeah, the deadline.
Yep. Yeah, dude, this camera is so busted.
That's hilarious.
All right.
All right. Well,
Well, we'll make it work.
You sound super good.
All right.
well, where did you lose me?
Like as soon as I started talking.
All right, I will start over.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Also, what's funny is just the way that the camera's normally cropped. We basically see like this part of your mouth
Oh,
in
do
your
you?
character frame, which is hilarious. You look like a 90s cartoon villain.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
Where it's
see.
like what's the like Slade almost, where they didn't want to show his full face for the first however many, or like what they do with Fire Lord Ozai, where it's like they just show him from here down and you never see his eyes until like the third season or whatever.
Oh
very
yeah.
funny.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Okay. I think is that best I can get. I guess.
that's better. Then now we can see at least your eyebrows down.
I'll move this down.
So all right.
All right.
Back to it. So the wedding. Well, you see, I was friends with Strahd before everything happened. Before he made his pact and freed Vampire. He was a scholar like me, and I was studying the arcane, and he was studying the arcane, and he came here as a general and had a great deal of knowledge about the land, and I was studying as I had come to do, and was trying to protect what was left of my friends, and I was distracted, and I thought his visits were to socialize and to share knowledge and bond, share wine, talk about the world, and postulate about this or that. And I didn't notice that his visits increased, he was being influenced by Vampire, or that I was distracted when he made his pact that ultimately culminated in Sergei's wedding to Tatiana and plunged Barovia into darkness. You see, the day of the wedding, when Tatiana flung herself from that balcony, Vampire granted Strahd power over the entirety of Barovia, but what Strahd didn't know is that Vampire isolated Barovia in the process by essentially banishing it to its own domain of dread, where the dark powers could influence things to their liking and prevent comings and goings except by their own allowance, and Strahd would be trapped in an endless cycle of his own torturous tumult. But had I been paying more attention, had I not been friends with him in the first place, he never would have come here. He never would have found this place or met Vampire at all. And Barovia would never have been cursed.
And there's no way around that.
Well, now what's done is done. The land is coated in darkness, and Strahd continues to work through this endless cycle of torture for himself at the amusement of the dark powers who put him here.
What if he died?
What if Strahd died? Well, he's already dead. He's undead. He's a vampire.
What if he died worse?
Well, what if you, truly killed him?
What?
Like if you were to truly kill, kill an undead type kill, kill a vampire. Well,
I mean, if someone were to, yes.
I don't know. It's never been done. I have to imagine, if he were to die, then the Dark Powers would no longer have a champion, and perhaps the curse would be lifted. But also, it's not outside the confines of the Dark Powers to resurrect those champions that they've chosen. Honestly, it might be more suitable to try and find a new champion, but that's very unlikely.
How hard is it to appeal to these dark powers once they're free?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Once they're free, the vestiges are released into the dark realms to do as they please. I imagine contacting one would be quite difficult, although they're able to reach out to those who they have chosen worthy, or as potential victims, or potential champions.
Would they still be in contact with Strahd?
Would who still be in contact with Strahd? I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
I just look at Sten.
Is someone in contact with Strahd?
No, I'm sorry, we were just leaving.
Last question. Sorry, the statue in this other room.
Oh, the statue, yes.
What's the deal?
Oh, well, it has antipathy and sympathy cast upon it. It's meant as a defense of those of the weak mind. Clearly you made it past it if you were to make it in here.
Yes, let's say somebody didn't, and they're just sitting in front of it. To what end will they walk? What happens to them?
Oh, well, they'll just sit at its feet until they starve to death, of course.
All right, thank you. Gonna walk out.
Also, another last question. What's in the chest on the ceiling out there?
Oh, the chest. You didn't open it, did you?
Oh, no, of course not. It warned us not to, and we're not greedy, but I am curious.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, if you were to open it, the floor would fall out underneath you.
Is that how you clear away the skulls out there?
Oh no, the skulls are just a warning, dear. They're illusions.
Why are you hitting people so much? What are they warned against? Why don't?
Well,
why
I don't want
here?
anybody who's not seeking knowledge to come in here. There's many important things that I have to defend, you know, and protect.
Okay.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Where did all of your friends go? Didn't you have more of them?
Change my mind. I'm going out this way.
Oh, hello, you. Yes, I remember you. You're... Wait. No, I don't remember you. What was your name?
Alistair? I'm just gonna...
That's right. It was an A name. Alistair, of course. How could I have forgotten? I'm so
You
sorry.
bitch.
And I'm Sten.
Oh, Sten. Yes, I remember that. Of course. You introduced yourself moments ago. I'm so sorry. I'm so forgetful.
That's okay. Me too.
Stan, are we leaving Casimir?
Can I open the door where he opened it before and go into the library?
Yes, you can.
I don't know. He don't think he deserves to stay here. I'm just so frustrated. I don't know what question to ask him.
We got nothing to go on. Honestly, I say we get the blueprints to the castle and get out of here.
I'm not leaving yet.
Irina's not leaving until everyone leaves the room, so she's in there with you.
Yeah,
I'm not.
let me help you with the blueprints.
All right,
Sounds
so
good.
the two of you leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave out this way and try and pull Casimir out of this.
All right, roll me athletics.
I'll help you.
Roll
Make
at advantage.
Nine.
He rolled a 5.
Okay.
So you tug
Come
him.
on.
He gets to roll the wisdom save. And this time he saves. So he will follow you out.
Let's get out of here.
Something is terribly wrong with that statue.
Yeah, no joke. Something's terribly wrong with this whole place.
Mim, you're still with the Lich.
Yep. I'm trying to think about what to ask him. Mim's not satisfied yet, so she's kind of just like awkwardly standing there. But before I do anything, though, I do want to go up to Irene and whisper, "Do you think we should ask him more? Because I feel like he knows more. How are you feeling?"
Overwhelmed. This man? Is it a man? If he was alive for the wedding of Tatiana and Sergei, he's been alive for over 400 years. And if he was friends with Strahd before Strahd's curse, maybe he knows more about the situation, but I
think he does. I just don't know how we get it out of it.
I'm sorry. Am I supposed to be listening to whatever it is you're saying? Because I'll admit, I can't quite hear you when you're whispering.
I'm sorry. Who are you? What was your name again?
Oh, yes, I've got my name. I can't seem to remember my name. Do you know my name? You didn't happen to know my name, do you?
What did they say it started with?
Irina said it started with exit something.
Exit.
Existential crisis.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Does that sound familiar to you?
Exit. It does sound somewhat familiar, but...
And when I was investigating throughout the room, there was nothing that had like exit something name on it.
So you did notice that the journal had room for a word. It said the actual The journal on the back says the incants of and what would be a word, and the word is gone.
So someone cast something. Sure.
Yeah, somebody
They just they
erased his
erased
mind.
whoever.
Also,
who
wait,
he is.
Andar, you did your investigation check. Did I ever tell you what you found in there?
Nah.
All right, what did you roll for that, or did you ever roll it?
I don't know that I don't know what I rolled that 24 for.
All right. So with the 24.
The
to-
24, you found
That
the
may have
arcane
been
lock.
something else.
Oh,
may have
that
been
was
for
the lock. Yes. So
itself.
roll me investigation because I don't think we ever got to that. Okay, so with a 25. You find in his study a variety of not only what the journal's gone because Alistair has it, and there's instead a Book of the Morning Lord chilling on the table, but otherwise there's a variety of information on Barovia, flora, fauna, maps, really ancient histories of families and burgomaster lineages. There's a few scrolls. Like old broken potions and flasks, things like that.
Cool.
If you want to go on to their stuff, you can. I'm just gonna chill in there for a little bit and think of something
All right,
to add.
so Andar, you just went out through the library.
Yeah. I just didn't want to go back through the statue room. I got really irritated in there last time.
All right, so you and Adunbi head down through there. What are the two of you doing?
Who are the two of you?
Is in us.
As in Andar and Adunbi.
Oh,
Well,
I just want to kind of go out to the middle of the floor out here and hang out.
Oh, I mean, I don't know what's down there, so
Here, I
I
will.
figured.
Basically,
we would
actually, so
go
on
down.
this map, this is pretty much this is the second floor, but this gray part is showing down to the first floor, and so it is just an open area in the center.
We haven't been here before, right?
They have.
I have.
And what's the staircase going upwards? Have we been there or downwards?
So that staircase going down leads from this floor up to this balcony. So this is all.
No, the one above.
Oh,
us,
that
on the other side of
leads
the room.
down. So this is like a library area, and that leads down to a like subfloor.
Which has
Um,
dark vestiges and powers.
Yes,
that
yeah, there's
traps
crates
you
and
in.
stuff.
I mean, I was down there earlier, but I didn't see anything. It's like, is it just empty?
No, so there's a whole room underneath this one that
Oh, okay.
if you were to go
Oh,
that
no.
way, I'd show you.
I wanted to go this way. I thought there was nothing here. So.
All right, so Andar, he's gonna split off from you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay that no mind whatsoever.
Copy. Here, I'm gonna real quick. Let me remove everybody but Andar. Andar, you're chilling here, and then a Doonbee. Okay, real quick, for the sake of a Doonbee. So this is the bottom floor. And ours in the center. You walk down the staircases, there's a bunch of crates. This amber slab is broken and shattered around across the ground. This one and this one is still intact. And then there's a little tunnel over here that you can see kind of leads through to another room. And in it you can see a bunch of treasure. But
You see these
also
are like
a
glowing,
giant
glowing crystal rocks things.
Yeah, those glowing crystal rocks are the slabs of amber. But you also see this giant amber statue that's chilling in this room facing the other direction.
Oh, cool. Just a bunch of like treasure and stuff.
The minute
down
you
here?
step into it,
Ah,
in here,
Yup.
yeah.
the statue turns and looks at you and begins to stand up.
It doesn't appear to be friendly, right?
It does not.
Okay, I'll walk away. It doesn't like chase me or anything, does it?
No.
Okay. Oh well, from here, can I see like? Is it just like gold coins and stuff on it?
There's
or is it,
gold.
like,
There does
anything?
appear to be various items strewn amongst the gold. Difficult to tell from this distance.
Hmm.
Gold, gems, various like
Can I-
chalices, other items mixed in.
Can I transform into a fly
Sure.
and then try to get closer?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go here. Let's use this one. Does it still get annoyed?
Nope. Doesn't notice a fly. It's got an intelligence of 3.
Anything interesting that looking around?
Let's see. So, in please hold. There are piles of treasure heaped against the west and east walls of this room, along with the 10-foot tall statue carved from amber and the likeness of a hawk-headed humanoid. Generally speaking, there's thousands of pieces of copper, gemstones, what appears to be rusted suits of plate armor. There's shields. There's a child-sized sarcophagus made of black wood etched with gold. There's thousands of silver pieces, rusted suits of mail and breastplates, what appears to be a silver rapier with some sort of pink glass hilt. There's 4 big great swords covered in rust. There's a gilded chariot. There's thousands of gold pieces as well as empty bottles. What appears
So
to
there's
be a trunk.
So basically, there's like a bunch of money and then just like a bunch of rusted items and stuff that like aren't unusable for the most part.
Some of them are rusted, some of them aren't. Like the rapier it seems to be in solid shape. The sarcophagus, there's jewelry, there's ceramic statues of saints, there's a gilded skull with red garnets in its eye sockets. There's 8 war hammers and 6 war picks. There's a fuck ton of shit in here.
Jesus Christ.
I have 6 piles worth of lists of stuff.
Okay, well, I will. And then there's a room down here, which is where Endar was, at least into the room that Endar was. So
Yes.
I'll just mosey my way back upstairs, or I mean, I don't know if there's like a gap in here if I can just like fly through.
There's
I'll
not a
make my-
gap, but
I'll make my way back-
you make your way around, and for the sake of
Yeah.
brevity, we'll just pop you over there.
Okay. Where do I go?
You're over there.
Oh, there we
Is
go.
there anything else that you wanted to do?
Talk to Endar.
Alright.
Did you find anything interesting down here?
Down in this big open room.
I don't know, maybe there's statues and maybe a secret doorway. There was a secret doorway in the room that we were in before.
Well, there are many secret doorways in here.
Yes, I actually just came from a treasure room myself. Heaps of gold and treasures.
Yeah, I saw that room.
Well, I mean, what do you suppose we do?
I'm gonna wait right here.
We're going to wait here? We've been waiting for ages.
We've been wait. You just got here.
I know, it's been so long, though. Are you sure we shouldn't do something?
I mean,
Maybe
you
explore.
like.
I mean, it's more fun to go together, don't you think?
Oh, we've explored quite enough. I'm not going to open another door and get a fireball in my face. Thank you.
I mean, I could open the door first for there'd be zero risk on your account.
Historically speaking, that is incredibly untrue.
I mean, you can stand very far back.
Yeah, like right here.
Well, but like, have you seen what's up these stairs?
Yes.
Have you seen what's behind this door down here?
Yes.
Oh. Well, you sure have explored a lot.
I have yet to find a pleasant place here. So.
Okay, well, I'll go check out.
If we wait right here, we can see when people come out of the creepy statue room.
What creepy statue room?
What creepy statue room?
I mean, there's statues in.
Infatuated with.
Oh, that statue room. I see. Well, I'll go check on our companions real quick, just to make sure they're okay. Also, give them the news. And I'll go back up to where Sten and everyone is.
From the way you came or the other way?
From the way that Alistair and our came down here.
Gotcha.
That's like this safer path.
And that's where you go. All right.
I mean, if the door closed behind us going into the little cupboard off of the library, it cannot be opened from this side.
That's true.
So you would make it back up, and then you would find a blank wall.
Oh. That sucks.
Also, I don't know when we're on the balcony, but you might have already seen us walk.
Well, so from the floor, you can only see the arrow slits on the upper floor. So if we go up here,
I'll just wait with Endar then.
They can't see this broken bit.
oh,
Like,
they could see
basically
the
as soon as
broken
we-
bit. That's true. Yeah. You
This
valid. You
whole-
valid. I'm
I'll just
sorry.
wait
I was
with
thinking
Endar
this.
then.
I was thinking this section. But anyway.
Yeah, if there's no convenient way to get up to them, then I'll just wait with Endar.
All right. So. And Alistair and Sten, other than copying the blueprints, are you guys doing anything or want to have any discussions?
I don't know what we're supposed to do when nobody in all of Barovia will tell us what the fuck is going on. It's really obnoxious.
I really thought he would have some answers. I don't know. It feels weird to rely on Irina to have a dream on what to do, but
I agree, but we copy down the plans, and hopefully that's all we really needed this place for.
say we get to the castle. What do we do? We don't know anything about this curse. We can't talk to the dark powers. Tell them, pick me.
Well, technically we could do exactly that.
How do you mean?
That's a risk that we run. I mean, we saw Villainous do it. And Andar had his thing. Apparently you just have to touch him.
Well, I already touched the amber that Strahd talked to.
Nothing happened?
No.
Then we choose a different one.
I don't know that that's a very good idea.
I think we're out of ideas. I think that's all we have to go on.
Well, to be fair, you also, this Vilnius clearly wasn't, at least according to the skull thing over there.
Oh no, actually he wasn't in the room. Never mind.
Either way, I have two gods riding shotguns, so should be fun to throw in a third.
I think I'd maybe just focus on Madame Ava and Esmeralda's readings.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if there's any hint, maybe something we're looking for is in the castle. So, yeah, I'll help you out.
And I will start angry drawing.
I'll summon my quill and use a couple of my abilities to make another quill, and I'm going to animate that quill.
All right. Mim and Irina.
Foundry's reloading, but yes. Does
Well,
everyone
in the
want to say
meantime-
anything? Yeah, go. In the meantime,
So, out of curiosity here, I'm trying to figure out what it is you guys are looking for information-wise, because I feel like that was a lot of new information, and you guys seem to not think that that was a lot of new information.
So he
I think there was
basically
new
just said,
information.
I disagree. He basically just said, oh, I didn't see that coming and I feel bad. Like, that's all we got.
No, but
I
he
mean,
talked a lot about like the specifics that nobody else had details on. He talked about how it happened, when it happened, like the details of the. I know that like above table you might have known some of the details above like about like the realm itself and like the domains of dread, but that's something that had never been mentioned in game.
But also, the
Yeah.
characters don't care about that.
why?
Well, if you
Like-
want a way out, then
Yeah,
knowing the
well,
nature of the
right,
realm
but-
that you're in is important.
We basically got told, hey, there's no way out. Cool, we knew that. Thanks for
Well-
just driving that home.
I mean, it makes us a little bit closer to finding a way out, right?
They basically said the dark powers control who before it was no one can enter or leave but the Vistani, and now it's
So
the
the-
dark powers control who enters or leaves.
The problem right now is the characters have
I did have a.
no reason to do anything. Like, we don't have any information on what to do after this. Like, we're getting the castle plans because we think we have to go fight Strahd in order to get out.
Well, that's what
But,
I'm saying.
like-
That's what I'm saying is like, what type of like I'm confused as to what type of information you're looking for in terms of like. You're
Well, I
like,
don't think we have anything, right? Like, we don't have anything that we're looking for. So therefore,
then how-
we
how
have no
could- how
questions
could-
to ask. It's not
Okay.
anything you're doing. It is, yeah.
interesting.
It is the way that, as far as I'm understanding it, it is the way that the NPCs are written. They are not helpful. We have to do this on our own. We have nothing we can ask because the characters don't have the information.
All right, interesting.
Yeah, I don't think this is you. I think this
No.
might
I'm
as well
not.
might
Yeah,
be.
no. I'm just trying to figure out where you guys are coming from, because
I feel you.
yes. But Mim, you said you had a question.
I was writing down a few questions because I was like, what questions do I have for this guy? But I do have questions for him because above table, we've asked a bunch of times of like, why can the Vistani leave? What all that jazz? And then people have been like, well, Strahd lets them leave, or blah blah blah. I don't know. But the issue is like, why is Strahd? Because he also like completely clarified that Strahd is trapped. Strahd is trapped here, so he also kind of screwed himself up. So like, yes, we kind of knew that, or we thought that, but I don't think anyone told us that
Well,
yet. So I
Casimir
feel
told
like,
us that
yeah, but
when we asked about the city in the fog. He said it was
Yeah.
a trick they're playing on Strahd.
I don't remember that, but okay. So, but we still don't know exactly about why the Vistani, right? Because that's my main.
Yeah, you
Right?
could ask that. That is absolutely
Okay.
something you could ask.
Yeah.
Right, but like he also told us that you make these pacts with these dark spirit things, and it's basically a give and take. They give you these powers, and in return, you bestow something upon other people that feeds them.
Correct.
So they need spirits, they need souls, they need pain, they need whatever. And you,
Yeah.
as their little puppet thing, are providing that to them. So
Honestly-
you could make an assumption that if you were to get rid of their little puppet, i.e. Strahd, they wouldn't be able to get the fuel that they need to sustain
Yeah.
whatever
Above
they're doing.
table right now,
Yeah.
a good plan is to go fuck around and find out with one of the dark powers.
Well,
And be
also
like,
We did that.
and be like, hey, we're trying to get rid of Vampire and end his hold on this realm. Help us out.
to Andar's point, though, you guys don't even know what fuels Vampire.
Yeah, that's actually that. I wrote that down. That's my question. I'm gonna ask him. Sorry.
I think my point is that there's a decent amount of information you did.
You cut out or something?
Oh, maybe I was away from my mic. I said I think there is a decent amount of information you did get here. It's just he's meant to be like more comedic in the sense that he's forgetful. But yes, getting information out of him in a string is tough because you have to segment it all.
I think we'll get there. At the end of the day, there's a lot of things going on in the world. There's like a billion pieces of information thrown at us from like things. It just takes us time for us to like hear from different sources and like figure it out. And so like we have a plan, like a general plan right now, but we'll form more solid things as time goes on. I'm sure like especially with what Adam just said, like when we get together again and like discuss like as a group of like what's our plan and stuff, like we have like Andar and a bunch of other people to like give us more direction. So based on like the information that we got or like that we, and like obviously we are trying to trust it, but there's a million people telling us different things.
Correct.
So we'll get there.
Mim.
Okay. Back to C. Can I? Sorry, I got excited. Okay. Before this, I am very forgetful, as you all know. I did write down my questions, and if I like zoned out and he did answer, or you guys if we already had the answers, or Cap can stop me, let me know. Okay.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So I said okay. Let's go.
Oh, I thought you said can I? Okay.
Oh no, I just said KK.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, his name is on him when we hover over him.
Oh, I can fix that. Whoopsie.
Yeah, I saw
Character-wise,
that.
we
I
don't
was
know it.
just.
Yeah,
I
didn't
was
we know
like,
It's gone.
Didn't we hear that before? I wouldn't have known.
No one's
Never?
mentioned it so far.
Okay. Sounds familiar, but that's probably fine. So Mr. What do you want to be called right now? Since we can't really remember names anyway.
I'd like to know my name, but I can't seem to recall it for the life of me for some reason.
Well, I mean, if you help us a little bit more, maybe we can help you try to find your name at some point. But for now, we can call you Mr. E.
Mystery.
Mystery.
Well, I guess that's fitting in a way. I can't seem to recall my own names. It is a mystery to me. I'm a fan of a pun.
Mr. E. I did it. Okay, it's fine. That's not what I meant, but okay, it works. So you know how you said that the Vistani can leave in and out?
Oh, yes, the Vistani, of course, yes.
Yeah, but Strahd can't. Strahd is trapped here?
No, Strahd can't leave. The Dark Powers would never let him leave.
Kinda sad, huh?
Well, I
In a
think
way.
that's the point.
So, but I thought you had to make a deal with these dark vampire-y or powered dudes. you have to give them something.
Oh,
So
of
what is
course,
that-
it's always a give and take. They grant you some sort of ability or power or whatever it may be, and you provide them with some sort of sustenance or curse or whatever it may be to inflict upon victims.
So, oh. So what is Strahd's curse thing that he inflicts on victims? Is that he makes more vampires? Is that like what feeds them? Because
Well,
there was a really terrifying moment when we accidentally let out a bunch of vampire spawns, and I'm just saying that kind of feels like that would be a thing. It was pretty horrendous.
Please hold. You. Got it. I'm sorry. Repeat your question.
Oh, Strahd. What? Okay, is Strahd returning the favor to the vampire by turning more people into vampire spawn, or is it something else?
oh no, vampire feeds on souls themselves. That's why Barovia is a big soul sieve in its own way. It captures souls, and the dark powers bring more souls in, and those souls get fed upon by it. You see, I think part of the original arrangement was that if all of the souls in Barovia would be taken, then there'd be nobody for Strahd to interact with that would provide any sort of value. So only a small portion of the people were fed upon by vampire after Strahd took over the realm. But then constantly vampire will allow new adventurers in to be fed upon, and for Strahd to play with first.
No.
I have to imagine he's incredibly bored after all of these years.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would be too. So if people are brought into here, then eventually they're just meant to be souls for the spirits to feed upon. They're
Well,
just
not
food.
spirits specifically, vampire specifically. Who does kind of this is the dread domain of vampire, if you will.
So like, they're destined to die, and their souls get fed to vampire.
Well, I think that's part. I wouldn't say destined, but I imagine it's part of the arrangement. Yes.
Oh God. That's terrifying. It would be horrible to be one of those ones, huh?
What's terrifying?
So question, why are the Vistani able to leave? Did you answer that already? I don't know.
Oh, well, the Strahd owes the Vistani a favor because at one point, Strahd was gravely wounded in battle during his conquest of Barovia, and the Vistani people saved him and saved his life, and he's owed them a debt ever since. I imagine that was part of the original negotiation.
Did they take anyone else out with them that's like not Vistani?
Well, no, they tend to try and trick people with they sell these fake potions, you see, that they say allow people through the fog. It's all hogwash. They don't actually work. But they're allowed to come and go. They can bring people in as part of a part of Strahd's game. With the blessing of the dark powers, they can go in search of adventurers to bring in. But taking him, no one, they can't take anyone out. No one can take anyone out.
Is just above table, are the things from the curse from the hag? Is there anything still around? Like, doesn't Sven not have a shadow, or Alistair doesn't have a shadow?
Alistair's still completely afflicted, minus the soul thing. Everything else is still around.
Go.
Minus a Dune Beast curse is gone, and Sten's curse is gone.
Oh right,
With
mine's
the
not. My
negotiation.
eye thing is.
And our Mim and Alistair's curses all remain.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I have a lot of questions for you. Let me just hold on 1 second. And then I'm gonna do Acorn. This is my way of basically above table being like, I don't want to hog this conversation for too long if other people are doing things. So, I didn't back at all. But I'm gonna say, checking in, hope everybody's okay. I'm just here hanging out with our new friend.
To me and Andar?
To everyone.
Everyone. With my the walkie-talkie. We haven't used it in a while.
No, we haven't. It's been a minute. Yes, me and Andar are just, hanging out down here, waiting for, whatever's going to happen. Are you guys doing okay?
Great! Doing great! I'm getting so much information. Totally.
By the way,
Short rest today at all?
Has anyone taken a short rest?
Yeah, we
Today
did. Yeah, we
already?
did. Yeah.
Super cool.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
I found a room full of treasure, just heaps of gold and luxurious items. In case anyone wanted to check it out later. I even found a shiny new rapier.
Rapier.
Didn't we see that already?
Yeah,
Was it by the?
guarded by a giant statue. We're not fucking with that.
Yeah. Don't be stop tempting me. We can't go in there, okay? And then I gotta go.
Look at but don't you remember all the things that we've been looking for all this time? It's just sitting right there in a room.
Been there.
It's just
done
one
that.
giant statue. Just one giant statue.
Well, just wait. Just wait. We'll see.
It's been a very
I'm gonna
long
go.
day. We're all talking
Okay.
over each other. I love that. That's hilarious.
Anyway, which makes sense because it's like a 5-way call.
5-way call on speakerphone.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Bye. Okay. So to clarify, y'all are good, just chilling. Mystery. Is Strahd evil? Would you say? Or you just think he's a bad guy?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Remember your name's Mr. E.
That's not my name.
But that's what we're calling you now. We just agreed on this a second ago. But anyway, do you think
Oh.
Strahd is evil?
Well, he didn't used to be. But yes, I would say. Well, I think much of what he's done in the last few centuries has been evil, but I don't know how much of that is his doing and how much of that is the influence of Vampire upon him. I'd like to imagine there's some good left in the man, but I guess he's not really a man anymore.
He's a dead evil vampire guy who's, ruining everybody's lives. Anyway, just a quick question, just a couple more quick questions. Do you, this is just so I know and can keep everything straight. The deal that Vampire and Vampire Strahd made was on the day of the wedding? That same day?
Well, not quite. They made the deal in advance, but it all came into effect on the day of the wedding. You see, I think the action that sort of triggered the pact was Strahd's murdering of his brother Sergei. Once that occurred, then it was essentially a sort of like almost like a proof of commitment, if you will. Vampire took that as evidence that Strahd was willing to do whatever he needed in terms of proving himself as champion. You know how it is. They need some sort of. They can't just choose anyone. You have to prove it.
Yeah, you gotta be like the best of the best for the evil people to choose you. Okay, thank you. So, but how did he murder him?
How did
Was
he
it a
murder
duel?
Sergei?
Yeah, that's so sad. He's really sad.
Well.
Okay, so many. I'm sorry, guys. I had a lot of questions.
No worries.
Are you sure you want to know that? It's fairly gruesome.
Yes, I do want to know that.
Well, you see, Strahd was overcome by jealousy on the day of the wedding because he was in love with Tatiana himself and he wanted her for himself, and so he knocked upon Sergei's door. I was there, you know. I was there at the wedding. I'm disguised, of course.
Oh.
I didn't look like this, but essentially, he sought out Sergei during his wedding preparations in his chambers while he was getting dressed, and ambushed him there and strangled him to death on the floor of his own bedroom.
And were you there when that happened?
Well, I wasn't in the room, but I was at the Castle Ravenloft when it occurred, and you see the guards outside of Sergei's room. They heard the scuffle and came in to find Strahd standing over Sergei's body, and you can imagine how they reacted very, very poorly. They tried to apprehend Strahd, but at that point, that was when everything turned quite dark. You see, Strahd became empowered by Vampire, and the clouds became overcast, and all of a sudden the horizon was bathed in fog, and, well, he massacred them.
As you do. Do you know Ludmilla?
Well, yes, that's one of, that's one of Strahd's wives, is it not? She's...
So? Have you met her, like, before?
I believe so. I believe she's been around once or twice. I can't quite seem to put my finger on when, though.
Just kind of blurs, huh? Okay, do you know a Baba witch named Baba?
A Baba?
Baba? Right, that's the name.
Baba Lysaga?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Baba Lysaga. Well, Baba Lysaga, you see, that she's a very interesting figure. She was Strahd's midwife. She was the one who helped deliver Strahd for Strahd's parents, Queen Ravenovia and King Baroff. And you see, she helped raise Strahd because, of course, the king and the queen were busy with regal matters, of course. So she helped raise Strahd as a boy. And Strahd never paid much attention to her, of course. Strahd was always very strong-willed and headstrong as a lad. But she seemed to think... She almost seemed to think of herself as a sort of motherly role to Strahd, for better, for worse. And you see, once Strahd came to Barovia and conquered the valley before it was known as Barovia. You see, at that point, King Baroff and Queen Ravenovia still lived far away. They were still ruling in the previous castle, and Sergei as well had not come. It wasn't until Castle Ravenloft was built in honor of Queen Ravenovia that Strahd even invited his family to Barovia. And unfortunately, along the way, King Baroff died of old age and Queen Ravenovia fell very sick. They didn't even make it to the door before they had perished. And so Sergei was the only one to arrive, basically escorting the caskets of his dead parents, which was quite a handful on Strahd, yes, you'd imagine. But the news of the traveling king and queen had reached Baba Lysaga, and she had come to Barovia seeking out Strahd as what she believed to be her son, but unfortunately, Strahd never viewed her that way, and so she kind of put together that had she shown up, Strahd would not be very welcome visitor, especially in a time of grief after his parents had passed away. So instead, she settled down in one of the old swamps. Well, it wasn't quite a swamp then. It was still a city. Perez was. But it wasn't a swamp until later when Strahd flooded it after one of Tatiana's incarnations. But that's beside the point. Point is, she's been living here for a very long time.
You should write a book. You're so knowledgeable.
I did write a book. It's in my journal. It's over here. It has all of these names in. Wait a second. This is not my journal.
What is it?
This appears to be a prayer book of the book. You don't happen to have my journal. You haven't seen my journal around, have you?
What does it look like?
Well, it looks kind of like this, but it's bigger. It's leather bound, and it has an inscription along the spine. It says the incants of what's the last word?
I don't know. Well, maybe you misplaced it. We could probably find it later, but you said it's a book you're writing with, like, names.
Well, yes, it has a bunch of names in it.
What are the names for? Oh, God.
I don't know what they're for. Well, I was writing it for something. Why did I have so many names?
Names of people that died or that.
Oh, they were names of all
good.
sorts of people. Various people from Barovia. There's, the old Wachter family names and titles, of course, and the very essences of people, their full names. But why was I writing them?
So you wouldn't forget them.
It's possible, but I don't think some of those people were very important.
Figure that out. That is a strange mystery. Like you. Okay, so moving on. You know so many things that I have even more questions all the time.
Real quick, does anyone
Yeah.
is there anything that anyone wants to chime in and do? I know that Sten and Alistair are still writing at this point. Adoonby and Andar, is there anything that
I
you
think we
guys...
had stuff.
Oh, yeah, we still got some stuff.
Okay, cool, go for it.
I guess after I get everything set up, something's kind of on my mind. Irina's not here, right?
No, Irina's with Mim.
She's with me.
Okay, good. Just make sure she's not moving, because I'm about to talk about her. He had mentioned something about stopping the cycle.
Yeah, I caught that too.
And if Irina dies all the time, what happens if Strahd wins and gets to marry her?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that anything would really happen, right?
Just a thought.
I think should he win, the land stays like this. If she becomes immortal, then the loop doesn't have to complete. The loop stays stagnant. It's like stopping a clock. It's never going to continue. But also, it doesn't change from a clock.
Still stuck. You don't think he'd happen to know anything about that sword of yours?
Maybe, but with his fleeting mind, I don't know that it's really worth asking.
Oh.
There is one thing. I'm gonna look around for my acorn. Hey, Mim.
Sorry, Mr. E. Hold on one second. Hello?
Hey, can you? This is bothering me. Can you ask him if he knows Vasily?
Oh! That's a brilliant question. I wasn't even thinking about that. Of course I can. I love these acorns.
He said that he was friends with Strahd, so I would think that he would know that.
Yeah. Also, do you want me to ask anything else? Like about the sword or anything?
Sten?
All right.
I'll pull out my acorn. Hi, Mim. This is Sten.
Sten.
If you're still in the room, does he know anything about what did they call it? Sword of Sun?
The
And why?
sword light? Light?
Well, I just
And why it might be a piece of shit, I say over mine.
for a sword made of sunlight,
Loud.
it's not very bright. So
Oh, I got it. I will do all of that. I have a great memory. Better than...
He
Real life.
won't remember if you just put the acorn in front of his face, I'm sure.
Oh, that's true. Hey, okay, here, Mr. E, here, my friends want to speak to you.
Who's Mystery?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot your name. Anyway, my friends want to speak to you. They talked to you before, and they just want
Is
to catch
that
up
an
with you.
acorn?
Yeah, and it's super cool. My best friends are acorns, and I'll just hold it, but you can talk to them.
An enchanted acorn. Hello, acorn.
Hello, friend.
Oh,
God.
wait, you sound familiar.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry, we just visited. But we
Did
have
you get turned
couple
into
of
an
questions.
acorn?
I'm afraid so, yes. But that's
Well, I'm
really
a
not
very
what I'm here
powerful
about.
wizard. I should be able to turn you back. Hold on 1 second.
Wait.
We're actually, my friend, we're on a knowledge quest.
Oh, a knowledge quest. Oh, well, how can I help you? Of course, I'm so sorry.
Have you heard about a sword made of sunlight?
Oh, the sun sword. Well,
That's very properly named.
you see, the sun sword, it wasn't always a sun sword. It used to be a real sword, but it belonged to Sergei von Tsarevich before Strahd broke the blade and cast the hilt to be lost forever.
If it was still working, but it wasn't super bright, how would you get it brighter?
Well, the hilt.
I'll just turn to Alistair.
Then don't make me go back in that room.
Is it the hilt that shines, or is it something else?
I will summon it.
Oh, no, it's very much something else. It's like the blade is made of light now.
Oh, well, yes, the blade
it's-
is made of light because the blade is an incarnation of the Morning Lord's connection and Sergei's connection to the blade itself. It represents all that is good and holy and the religion that Sergei once followed.
So how would you make that stronger?
Well, I guess it depends on who's holding the blade. So, I guess let me rephrase. Not who's holding the blade, but who's holding the hilt. Because if you're holding the hilt and it's not activating, then you don't really have much connection to it, I would imagine.
I mean, I think the perfect person is holding it.
Oh,
Is
is somebody
supposed to
holding it
activate on
now?
its own?
Oh, God.
I'm just really quickly, if somebody is holding it now, if they hold it, is it supposed to just, if they're worthy or whatever and connected to it, is it supposed to just pop up and
Well, you
light?
see, the Morning Lord is one of the only deities capable of reaching Barovia because of the strength of the religious followers that were here before it was separated from the other realms. But even he has very weak influence over the land itself, as the dark powers have a fairly crippling hold on the land and have separated it so far beyond what would be the normal reach of most deities. But that being said, there are still vestiges of power and artifacts and shrines and the like that he is able to interact with. The Sun Sword being one of them, considering that Sergei von Tsarevich was one of his most righteous priests before his death.
So he's choosing not to interact with it. Great. I love the gods.
Yeah, just pray on it, right?
Yep, that's been working so far.
Well, it's
and
not
I'll
exactly as
shut
much
it
of a
away.
conscious choice as much as it is a reflection of the wielder. The wielder is the power of the soul and the power of the religious and if not religious, at least righteous fervor of the holder. That would be what empowers the blade as considering the limited influence, they aren't able to fully reach artifacts in this realm directly. If they were to meddle directly, then that would be much more of in line with a normal realm. But we're in
What
a
if
domain
we-
of dread.
What if we saw the Morning Lord walk the world?
Oh, and then you must have you must have provided some very powerful opportunity for him to do so.
And what if the sword still isn't working?
Well, if the sword isn't working, then I imagine that it's a reflection of the righteousness and the fervor of the holder.
Yep. Atheist half angel. Love it. I'm going to start working on the drawing again.
Thanks, babe.
Bye. You guys want to talk?
So, you gonna pray on it, or?
I haven't decided. I will before we leave here, but I don't know. Maybe we talk to a few new people.
I have a feeling if you give me a couple days, I might be able to help with something.
Thanks.
Maybe guide you a little bit.
All right. I'm down to try.
All right. Man. Did you read Ludmilla's notes?
Yeah, I did. Anything particular?
Well, it says that she also contacted the Dark Powers to move against Strahd. But I mean, as far as I know, there's nothing bad has happened to her. I know we've only run into her a couple times, but...
I think it's very one-minded to assume that dark may always mean bad. Perhaps you can have a bit of light and a bit of dark and still get the job done.
It's a scary thought, Alistair.
It's a scary land we walk.
Is Casimir listening?
Yeah, he's just standing there.
Okay. Well, I suppose some things can't be helped.
I don't know. We have a few days to think on it before we go off on the next adventure, so we have some things we can try.
Right. Yeah, I'll continue working.
And Darna Dunby, is there anything that you guys want to do or talk about?
You said there. You said I can still like. Could I like walk all the way around to get back to where I was before? Or like, is there like no way?
So basically, if you walked back up to the library, you'd run into that same blank wall. But if you walked up this way, if you walk up over this staircase, then
There's a
balcony.
Did the treasure room have like an exit door to this room?
Yeah, here, let me go to the lower floor. So this is the lower floor.
Okay. Well, and this door is like not locked, right?
It is locked.
Locked. This one too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna walk all the way around. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the treasure.
Oh, well, so you can get to the treasure room by going up the stairs and through the library again.
Oh, okay. And I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So you'll walk through. You'll end up over here.
I'm curious. Very curious.
Single player combat, let's go.
I mean, I don't want to do combat.
No.
All right. So here's the plan, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if this works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna grab a few things. Is there like what do you call it? What kind of you said there's like pages of stuff, right?
I have 6 piles worth of items for this room.
Could you just send them to me real quick? And then I can look at it while people are talking.
So
Or no.
if you were, you'd have to like wild shape in there and like basically take inventory of everything in there for me to just send you the list, right? Like you took a scan around
Yeah, that's
Also,
true.
we do know that as soon as you walk in there, you're gonna get attacked.
Yeah, I got that.
He does. Oh.
I got that.
There are 32. I have 32 bullet points of items in this room, so I don't think it's realistic to have you like grasp all of it from a glance type deal.
Okay. Well,
And some of those items are like, when I say like 32 items, like some of them are like 17,000 copper pieces. So like the room is laden with treasure, is the point.
okay. Well, here's what I'm gonna do from the glance that I got.
Okay.
Is there? I guess I'll say for the glance that I got. Is there anything in there that I feel like anyone could use? Like, Alistair has been saying that he's been looking for stuff for himself.
Roll me a perception check as if you had done it the first time.
Okay. That's what I was
Part is in there.
going for. Perception. Oh, that's the wrong thing.
Also, can I talk about the fact that the humor in this book is stupid sometimes? One of the items is 15 thin leather-bound tomes, all of them signed copies of a storybook called Snow Dwarf and the Seven Whites. Whites is in, like, specters.
You know, I'm just glad that it's not fucking signed copies of Octavia's book. I probably would have burnt down this whole temple.
That wasn't Rictavio's book. That was Rudolf van Richten's book.
Okay, fucking Octavio's book.
All right, I rolled a 22.
All right. So with the 22 things that stand out, there's ass tons of money.
Yeah.
You saw some holy symbols. You saw a variety of like fairly like expensive things such as the gilded skull, the sarcophagus, gemstones. There's a variety of jewelry, some of which could be magical, but you'd have no way of knowing at first glance which is which. There's some crystal balls. There were a few staves, some of which could be magical and some of which could not be. And there's the silvered rapier.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk into the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming they're not in any particular pile.
They are spread throughout, yeah.
Okay. So, what would you consider as like if I go and I'm like, I'm gonna grab something that I think somebody would like from each of these piles, would you consider that like one turn for each pile? What would you consider that?
What's your movement?
30. 60 if I dash.
So I would say trying to grab a specific thing from a pile, I would say, is a bonus action.
Okay.
So you could make it past 3 piles, but you're only going to be able to grab, like, specifically grab one thing. If you were to just reach in and grab something random, like, just kind of like scoop on the way by.
Yeah.
All of this is to just say that this is going to be tremendously difficult to do alone.
I just want to like roll through, grab a couple things that I thought that people might like, and then dip.
All right. So then we'll do it this way. So you run in. You'll have one round of a surprise round. The first pile, at a quick glance, the only things that seem potentially useful are either monetary objects or potentially a piece of jewelry.
Okay. let's say I grab a piece of jewelry.
All right. Roll me a d20.
All right.
All right. So that's your bonus action.
Okay.
You've moved 10 feet.
Okay.
Continue.
Next one.
This pile has the rapier, as well as money, and
I'll grab the rapier. Or something. That's something that is adequate enough for Mim to use.
okay,
So I know Mim likes shiny things, and it's silvered.
okay.
You said it was sparkly.
It's got a pink glass hilt.
Yeah, that sounds something like Mim would like. Mim likes pink.
Okay. So that's your action essentially.
Okay.
So you'll make it to the third pile, at which point this thing's gonna go.
Okay. I mean, it can't be terrible, right?
5, 10, 15. That is a 21 to hit. Dealing
Okay.
22 bludgeoning,
Not bad.
and then it swings again
Oh.
with a 19 to hit
That's a lot. That's a lot to hit.
for 15 bludgeoning.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to see how much damage it does. Okay.
It is your turn.
Okay. Let's do this.
Okay.
Okay. Not bad. And you said can I use my bonus action to get this
Yep.
pile?
Yep.
Okay. Do I have to roll something for that or?
Quick glance at this pile. It's money, some clothing, some more jewelry, and staves.
Money or I'll grab a staff. Maybe Andar likes a staff.
Right?
Actually, does Andar use staff? Andar uses like a little wand, right?
He has a quarter staff,
Oh, okay.
but he doesn't.
I'll grab a staff.
Right. Roll me a d20.
Okay.
Right. So you have your action, your bonus action. You still have your movement.
Okay. I don't think I move anywhere, right? Because it's gonna attack me. I guess I can walk around it. Gotta walk here.
Okay.
All right, that's it. That's all I can do. Just don't crit me.
$21 to hit.
Yeah, not bad.
16 bludgeoning.
Okay. Just don't crit me. That's all I ask.
$20 to hit. Unnatural.
I don't think you can miss, so.
14 bludgeoning.
Okay.
Also, that 20 was the attack roll. It wasn't the to
Yeah.
hit.
The attack roll is to hit.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Yeah. So the last thing, can I grab something from this pile?
The middle pile?
Middle one? Yeah.
Yes, so crystal balls, a life-size wooden pony, gold, and a bronze crown with tiny gem-eyed dragons.
I'll grab the crown.
Okay, roll me a d20. All right.
And then my bonus action. Can I use that as my? Wait, let me see if I actually didn't check what action the feature does. Okay. As my bonus action for my action, can I wild shape into a butterfly?
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try to walk or run, like fly. Well, butterflies don't walk, but fly away.
All right.
I'm gonna flutter away.
Yeah.
A beautiful butterfly.
A beautiful butterfly. And I'm gonna try to get away.
All right. Cool. You're out of combat.
All right. I'll slowly fly my way over to where people are over time.
In the meantime, back to the upper floor. Doonby's over here. Do we want to wrap here? Because I know Mim would be continuing conversation. Sten and Alistair pretty busy. Andar's just chilling, and Doonby just did that. But it seems like Sasha is, I think, letting in my parents. And I also know it's 3:10. No, she's back. So here's the thing. Either we can continue the interrogation of the Lich, or we can leave it for next time if people want time to ideate. What's the vibe?
I mean, I have 3 questions left, but I can totally wait because one of them is like, you want to come walk and talk? So, you know, whatever. I'm dying. I'm sorry. I ran up and down the stairs a lot. And it's 100 degrees. Anyway, what do you guys want to do? Sorry.
I'm cool for saving it for next time.
Yeah, I'll sit in the same boat.
Oh, let's do it then.
All right. So then, Mim, we'll let you ask your last 3.
Oh. Okay.
And then we'll leave the rest of it for next time.
Okay. I'm going back. So, thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge with all of us. We love knowledge. So, do you ever leave this room?
Well, of course, I wander around the temple. I'm here to protect it, after all, and every once in a while I have to reference a book or something, find some information that's not in here.
Makes a lot of sense. Do you know the best way to get around without being attacked? Because we just really want to go search for more knowledge, and there's so much knowledge here to find.
Oh, well, nothing attacks me. I've been here long enough. They don't know who I am. So, everywhere's safe as long as I'm around.
Oh, well, then you should just come with us. Walk around. Give us a tour.
Oh, well, of course. What would you like to see first?
Well, let's go grab the rest of the group first. And while we're walking, you can tell me, like, if you've ever dealt with hag curses before. That's
Oh, well, there's more to the group than the 2 of you.
Yeah, you actually met us a little bit ago, but it was a while ago at this point. You probably don't remember, but come on.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry. Okay, well, you lead the way. I'll follow.
Hey, dokie. I'll leave. Which way did everyone just kind of split the 2 ways?
Yeah, Andar and Doonby went this way. Sten and Alistair went this way.
Okay, I'm gonna go out the... Oh, there's a scary statue. I'm gonna go the other way and follow them. This way!
Oh, yes, of course. Here, let me open the door for you. And he comes and... Boop. Yes, this way is the library. I'm sure you've seen the library, of course. It's a wonderful place. Lots of books, lots of knowledge.
While he's doing this, I'm gonna go really slow and be like, hey, everybody, I brought our friend with us. Let's go on a tour. And the acorns. in the library. We'll find you.
Are there any other questions you want to ask him before we wrap?
Do we want to do it now or next week? Because I want to ask about above table. I want to ask about the hag cursing, and is it possible to kill a dark power instead of trapping it? But that's kind of like a meh one in. So if we want to wait till next week to hear about the hag curses when all the groups together, I feel like that's when I want to ask it.
Yeah, let's save it for all at once. Then we can do the wrap up of the interrogation together.
Yeah. Long time.
I like it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for playing. Nick, I'm sorry about your tech issues.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out.
I kind of like Darth and Nick.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The bummer is like this camera, it's so bad you can't tell what color these lights are.
I love the line just straight through your camera.
Well, but the fact that you're underlit too is very ominous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dark.
It's very dark. Dark
What
Nick,
was
dark
it?
Knack.
Dark Knack, yeah.
I honestly, it reminds me of like like Darkiplier or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's very spoopy. Treble says.
Yeah, much like though. Like.
All right. Well, thank you guys for playing. We have a Doonby back, which is good. We'll cover what happened with the Doonby
I mean,
either next
almost
session or in a
Doomby.
future session.
We almost lost the Doomby again.
We'll cover what happened with the Doonby once you guys are out of the temple. We're gonna have a Doonby flashback recant.
Oh,
Recap.
thanks for hang out and make a new friend with the guy and ask more questions.
Ayo.
Calling on the acorn.
Acorns are so good. Can I hear acorns when I'm a butterfly? I should be able to, right?
I think so. You can't respond, but you can hear it.
Okay.
As all of your gear merges with you, right? So your
Yeah.
body just starts talking.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm a butterfly telephone.
But then, if people hear sound coming from you as the butterfly, they probably think that you are talking to them.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's how this guy went crazy.
That's a new thing we do to drive people insane. I just like transform into like a termite and just like crawl next to people, and then the acorn just like starts talking through me really loudly, and it's like, where is that voice coming from? And it's like, it's all in your head.
No. You should become like a cricket or like what is he? Is he a cricket? Jiminy Cricket, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or no, I'm a locust. From the cat, Puss in Boots.
It's me, your deity. Jiminy Cricket, the sun god.
All right. Well, thank you guys for playing. We'll see you guys next week. Anything anyone wants to cover before we wrap up, or is that it?
I think I'm all good.
All right, cool.
We're all good.
Thanks, everybody.
I'll talk to you all later.
Bye.
See ya.